Eric is playing against a Grandmaster today, so I'll be guiding the commentary, hoping to have a good old-fashioned time. My name is Jonathan Schrantz. If you've never heard of me, I go by Vampire Chicken on Twitch and YouTube. He's on like board 9 or something. Okay, we don't have any moves yet. There is a little bit of a delay, but I think we're good here. So he does have black. Let's look at this from Eric's point of view. And I can't wait to see what he's done. No mistakes so far. Yeah, but he is like a little bit worse. So he should consider trying to equalize from here. Hopefully I'm qualified. And honestly, these are like my favorite streams. I guess you guys will say your favorite streams are, you know, like when Eric's here and he's playing whatever. But honestly, like my favorite thing to do is watch a lot of these like higher level games and just get to know one game really, really deeply. So Eric told me it was a 15-minute delay, but it might be a 15-minute delay until Lee Chess gets it, and then like another 15 minutes until it starts. But yeah, it was obviously around Singfield Cup time that delays started, but it's becoming like just kind of a universal thing. In like a whole bunch of tournaments that there's always a delay, and it kind of like stinks. Yo, moves, what the heck? No. Hey. H4? Wait, no, relay air. Wait. Eric played the Sicilian. His opponent played H4, and there's no games in the Masters database. Seriously? Yo, we're gonna have to use the Lee Chess database because there's no games. But it has a name. This is the Myers attack with H4. And Eric played his move very quick. He's actually way up time. Oh, you know, maybe, I wonder if his opponent was late to the board or something. Or here's what happened, instant replay. Oh, this move was 4 minutes. It took him 4 minutes to play this. He went here, Eric went like this. Guy went, wait a minute, this is not the Stafford Gambit, the only thing I prepped. All right. Yo, he took a long time. What the heck is that sound? Oh, it's a merch thing.
Queen shirt, bought for the friend's birthday that gets so knock my queen every time.
Oh, I can hear that. Wait, that's cool. We can hear the merch commands. Oh, thanks for Nick for buying a shirt. That's cool. So those ones go through. But yeah, the Stafford was so strong that the opponent had to like just avoid it at all costs. And now this looks like Eric's game from yesterday. Except for Eric's game was this position with a knight on c3 and this pawn back on h2. But this is wild. Was that sound really loud? I can turn it down a little bit if I don't want to scare any viewers. But we're actually going to get like a really cool game here. Yeah, he did spend a long time. The audio has been turned down just slightly. Levels are all good. Okay, you know what? Just put it right back where it was. It's good to just get startled. So, okay, bishop to b5. And now it's Eric's turn to move. So we saw in a similar position yesterday that when Eric had a position like this, his opponent's idea rather, Eric was white with the knight on c3, was to play knight to d4, which is very typical. Because what often happens is if you don't move this knight, if you play something else, white is going to take this right away and try to trade a bishop for to get you some doubled pawns. But it's so weird because now it's like basically, it's not impossible to castle. But I guess Eric's Sicilians, yeah, I don't see any, we don't know what this guy's rated, but I guess we could look him up. Eric's Sicilians always involve e6. I would imagine if he was a g6 player, this would make a lot of sense. But all right. Now Eric is sinking into thought for the first time of the day. Tomorrow is my birthday, but I don't want to be 66. Then just wake up and be 26 or something. Isn't it just, it's just how you feel. But also happy birthday. Just wake up and tell yourself that you're 36 or 46. Happy birthday, Pam. So, wow, this also is kind of crazy. This score is like 50% for white. Look how well a6 scores. It makes me wonder if there's something particular about this exact line, or it's just the fact that there's only 75 games. But it'll be interesting to see who's played h4. I mean, I guess anybody that's played Bullet can play h4. Little Plotkin? Little Plotkin? I thought you said it was my birthday tomorrow. No, it is my son's birthday tomorrow. My son will be turning 11. But we thought we were going to have a birthday party. But we are going to do something special tomorrow just with the family. But his real party is actually going to be moved 1 week later so that we can go somewhere that he really wants to go. But it'll be my son's birthday party. So if I do a stream again tomorrow on Eric's channel, it might be slightly shorter if I need to run off and go do some dad things. But trying to play it around it. So Grandmaster Daniel Fernandez is rated 2430. We have been advised. So that's a good sign that, you know, he's probably been a Grandmaster for a while. He's dipped under the 2500. Queen b6. Yo, these guys are reinventing the theory here. Only played 28 times. But the idea must be that if you take, he's taking back with the queen, and the queen is then staring at this pawn. So it's a sensible enough move. But man, it's just kind of a weird and interesting situation. Thank you so much for the stream. Thank you guys for being here. Hoping this really goes well. So he attacks the bishop. It looks like most people that are probably not Grandmasters do take. I imagine we'll see knight to c3 with a similar situation to his previous game with colors reversed. And then I imagine black is just going to play a6 and be like, okay, why don't you give me your bishop? And he's going to take back. And then white will need to argue, I'm ahead in development, and I'm just going to like, I'm going to try to keep a lead in development. That's why I gave up a bishop. It's also possible that this moves and just says, haha, your queen's on b6, now you can't play b5. There's a lot of ways that this could go. But it's also like white, I guess, is already basically committed to, if you're castling, you're going on the queen side. I like your energy, so the stream is always interesting. You guys are very nice. Eric warned me. Before I came on, Eric said, hey, if chat gets out of hand, here's like all the million-step tutorial on how to moderate the stream. It's like, dude, your chat's like really nice. It's not going to be a problem, dude. So, yeah, if you're just joining, h4. Yeah, he warned me about you guys. Somehow I think we'll fit in around here. Oh, I was gonna make tea. I'm so sad now. I actually was gonna make tea before this to celebrate an Eric Rosen game, but I completely forgot. And now I'm just too lazy. Now I'm already sitting here, so we can't do it. When I grow up, I want to be just like Eric. Yeah, how does he do it? A low tea stream. He would never forget tea. I know, I don't have what it takes. I want to be Eric too, but I forget to drink tea enough. What are the chances of Eric playing Hans? #1 most asked question on Twitch these days. I mean, he definitely needs to win this, because you assume that Hans, who's going to be at the top, is going to win like almost all of his games. So he needs to keep like the same score as Hans. So I don't know. If he wins like 2 or 3 games in a row, then I guess he'll play Hans. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in this round. So he's off to a great start. Like it's so far, it's a good tournament. One thing I've noticed about Eric's play is that he's very consistent at beating lower rated players and losing to higher rated players, which I guess might not be like shocking. But I know for a lot of people, myself included, it's like I lose to somebody 200 points lower than me, and then I beat somebody 200 points higher, and it's like random. Eric's play is like really consistent. And it's actually like incredible because he does so much other things. He does all the streaming. He's making all like the YouTube videos. He like does a whole lot of stuff, but he's also just like very, very consistent with his play. And that's kind of admirable. He made Magnus rage quit though. I should know about this. Oh, wait, I edited that video. Yeah, I should know about this. And then I think Eric, for that video, he made that the title because I just added a little joke at the very end. He made like a Hans joke at the very end that I left in that video. And that's like, leaving that small clip in led to the title being changed and the entire meme being created. His mentality is probably the best I've ever witnessed. Yeah, he's so sound. He's so solid at life. Eric could also play Hans in the last round when all the other top opponents already played him. I wonder if there's got to be a list of everybody that's playing. Exclam Vegas. Because we got to move. Wow, he's playing the Super Crab. I'm going to look up in just a second to try to see where Eric fits in. Obviously, still theory if you follow all of the games of 1600s. But look at this. H4 and now A4. The Super Crab. Wow. So he defends his bishop in the funniest way. This does prevent any A6, B5 ideas in the future, which is what black does want to do in this pawn structure. But it's just wild. Because I'm wondering where this guy is going to live. It's so provocative. But I guess this is what you do when you're a GM and you're playing an IM and you want to play like provocatively. You move like this. Most people in chat are not allowed to play like this because we laugh at you. But he got the title, so he's got the pass. He's got the Super Crab pass. When you guys play the crab, oh no. You're the worst. Wait a minute. These guys are playing so many more moves. Accidental catch up on Hans. Hans like does really well in these positions with black, but that's not what we're here to discuss. You don't think he's taking him seriously? I think that like if you play a bunch of these open tournaments, there might be like, let's try to think about why the guy's actually doing it. Like the funniest answer is that he's like trolling and having a fun time. But it might be that like in open tournaments, you need to like win. Eric just plays a normal developing move. And when you play in a lot of open tournaments, like draws are just not very good. And when you play at IM and you're a GM, you sometimes have to take like a lot of risks, but like kind of calculated, interesting decisions. So I think that's what we're really seeing. And we have a novelty, look, confirmed with the Masters database and the Lee Chess database. And after 4 moves, a Gambiter has told us that we have a brand new chess position, Knight F6. So I think A6 is what is the only thing that has been played, which makes a lot of sense, right? Try to force the bishop to make a decision. But Knight F6 also makes sense, develops a piece, puts pressure on the pawn. White was ready for this, of course. And I'm trying to now envision the setup that white has in their head. So white, they're imagining some sort of future pawn structure. And I'm trying to figure out what it is. Because, like, does it really evolve F4? Are you really going to weaken, like, all of these light squares? Is the idea to, like, go like this and push this knight away? What is white envisioning? He has some deep plan for how this is going to play out. So there's a little bit of like cat and mouse behind the scenes. Because Eric is imagining some sort of setup. And he's being kind of patient with it. So we don't know exactly what he's going to do with his pawns yet. But I guess, would you guys be now scared to try to castle with black? Maybe it's a little bit scarier. Maybe the idea is B4 and G4? If you don't move this pawn, G4 is not like the dumbest thing. Sometimes in the Sicilian, you can go just kind of wild over here. You think this is prep? This brand new, not even in Lee Chess database? But it could also be that there is some position white is well aware of. That's like this, but like with a bunch of more moves added in. And then you play H4. And they've done it first just to try to like confuse Eric, confuse the opponent. and just try to trick him into being like, okay, I'm going to get to a position that I know and I have studied, but because we're not getting there move by move in the way that you've studied it, maybe I can trick you. This also could be possible. This is the Lobster. This GM has watched too many Annie Cramling crab videos and decided to create their own opening. The crab is... Wait, what is the crab? The crab is when you play A4 and H4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, bonus, for the prime. That yeah came at just the right time. I was asking a question. Thank you so much. Just A4, H4, like whenever. Is the position on board 35 a transmission error? Let's check it out. Let's see. Vincent Quinn versus Nathan Yan. Let's see if we have anything else. Okay, so far, so theory. So far, so super theory. What is the mistake? This move? You think that this move is a mistake? You think a knight went there? Or what the heck is going on? Maybe it was the knight that took? All right, I can see that they let anybody play in this tournament, huh? No offense to these guys. It does feel like a transmission error. But it could, I don't know, it could be the under something section. I'm gonna guess that this didn't happen. I suspect that one's a little bit off the rails, but we'll leave it there. Oh, this GM became a GM last year. And we're told that he's 2430 rated now. So he got it and then he, I don't know, played a bunch of open tournaments and maybe had a bad result or something. The I just want to go home game. It's only round 2. It's not time for the I want to go home rounds. You got to save that for round 8 and 9. How old is this GM? I guess I didn't do enough homework for this, but it's probably as easy as looking up his name in FIDE. Daniel Fernandez FIDE. There's a lot of Daniel Fernandezes. He's this guy? Is this guy? This tiny child? Who's probably not a child anymore? Standard 2505? Or, I don't know. Born in 1995? I don't know. There's a lot of them. Not that guy. This guy is 38 and therefore not a child anymore. Oh, let's turn this off. I don't want to spoil anything. Oops. Spoiler alert. Eric is slightly better. The guy playing is 2505. I guess there's a lot of people with this name, so I'm not entirely certain. He's in the 24 to 2500 range, which, you know what, to me, it feels about the same. A 2430 and a 2500, it's quite similar to me, but I'm sure there's a big difference. Weak GM, but still GM. Yeah, he seems good. It's all the same. 2430, 2500. Who could tell the difference? I don't know how either side is castling. I think that's, like, honestly the most interesting part about this position. Because normally, white has, like, a choice. But when you play e4, you kind of have a choice. You can go king side, you can go queen side. You haven't made any weaknesses on either side. Until you start pushing things, then it becomes harder to castle. But at the same time, black has moved this c-pawn, so it's less likely that you castle over here, although there's certainly plenty of Sicilians with some sort of like setup where that happens. So it's obviously very possible. But you also need to figure out if you're castling kingside, if white is going to have some bigger attack, if h4 actually can become a useful move, and you never want your opponent to play h4 on move 2 and then for it to actually become a useful move. How embarrassing. Whiskey in the jar? No, this is my drink of choice. It is water. It is in a mason jar. At least that's what I tell viewers. But if I start getting a little bit tipsy by the end of the stream, then I don't know, just roll with it, okay? Maybe he plans to castle on the same side and this already have a forward pawn on both sides to create an attack. So I think you're thinking that maybe he's going to castle queenside, or maybe, I mean, white also can be very flexible and patient. The way that this backfires is if black can somehow open the center very quickly. But it's probably quite difficult to get this pawn to ever move. Like, even if you play d5, it doesn't, like, necessarily straightforwardly open the position. Wait a minute, this isn't Rosen. How did I hijack the stream? Yeah, what a fool. He wrote down the code to his stream on his nightstand, left it in his hotel room. I just snagged that dude. I said, this stream is mine now, and I'll perpetuate whatever nonsense I want. A6. Okay, a very sensible move. And this is good because now it forces this bishop to make a decision. And you would expect that they would be taking, but I suspect you can also back up. Can we get some risk content? Yo, imagine Eric's face. Eric, yeah, I streamed the whole time. We just played Risk. He'd be like, wait, I don't think that's what I signed you up to do. Do you think this bishop will take this knight, or do you guys want to play bishop to c4? I assume neither one probably objectively changes the eval too much, but it does change the nature of the position quite a bit. Yes, take it. So I guess the thought that would go through my mind is, okay, if I'm going to play a line like this, we always expect that the queen is going to take back. Otherwise, why did you play queen b6? If you play something else, whatever. I think the question is, if you give up a bishop, generally the reason you do it is because you are going to somehow get some sort of initiative immediately, however small it will be. So it is actually kind of interesting that after this trade, it's actually black that is ahead in development because he snuck this knight out. Knight f6 is probably a very good move. Because what is white's setup going to be? Okay, this guy, it's like pretty obvious. But even this guy, I don't know. Like, I guess he's coming to f3, but like, you know, maybe in this structure he wants to play f4, but there's some weaknesses. It should be interesting. Engine gives white a slight advantage. I wonder if there was another move but a6. I mean, a6 is, I mean, it's, we're arguing over like 0.1, 0.2, like whatever. But I think, I mean, this is a great move. I'm wondering what else black could consider. Because I think black just wants to know before committing to how they're going to develop their bishops and how they want to set up. They want an answer from white. First, you tell me what's going on with this guy. Are you keeping him on c4? In which case, maybe I want to adopt an e6 setup to blunt your bishop and try to play for d5 at some point. Which is also an argument for playing bishop to c4, is that this queen is on b6. Because now if ever e6 with the idea of d5, you don't have this queen back here like you usually would. So some moves like this could actually make it hard for black in the future to ever play d5. So I think there's a really good argument for keeping the bishop, honestly. It would be weird to take, in my opinion, because after a4, moves that would rather be ideal for an open game, and trading the bishop and a knight would be good if you want to play a more closed position, which I think is kind of like true and to the point of what I was thinking as well. I'm actually expecting this, having thought about it now. He's taken a very long think, and there's only two moves. If d takes, you think that there's h5? It could happen. And then maybe white gets the pawn all the way down, or maybe you stop it with h6. I don't think he's going to do this too quickly. But I also don't think if Eric put his queen on b6 that he's then going to take with one of these pawns. Because the general idea is that the queen is going to be able to take back and you can keep your pawn structure the way that it is. White forgot his crab prep. So I think what white is doing is that he has a certain amount of theory in this certain kinds of Sicilians, and he's kind of going through and he's trying to play it in a way that he can get a structure that he wants, to play a position that he understands, in a move order that confuses the opponent. So he's just kind of thinking through, like he's got some setup in mind. He already knows where he wants all of his pieces, but he's fact-checking that against all of the possible setups that he might expect against black. Everybody knows the crab is the most critical opening to study before a major tournament. Well, I guess that's why we've seen Eric only spend 10 minutes and his opponent 20. E5 to complicate. I guess it depends on what white does. But if this bishop goes here, then you almost certainly don't want this pawn to go to e5. Like, look, maybe it's a move. But then you're creating weaknesses, which I don't think is Eric's style. But if here and takes, then maybe you're more likely in the future to go for one of this. Usually in these positions, if the queen is still back here, and you do get one of these trades and say you take back, then trying to set up a position with e5 is actually very common. He's already a GM. He has nothing to lose. Oh, in chess, there's always more rating to lose. And he's got to live with his rating, so you know he wants to win. Yeah, e5 immediately would have created a hole here, which, you know, you just got to think about the position. Now, I don't think Eric will think very long. I think the only logical way to justify queen b6 is to take. But now that we're here, we can think about any other moves if anybody wants to suggest why you would take with anything. But he doesn't actually think very long. Okay, cool. So he's playing quite quickly, which maybe that's all part of the plan. What's with the beard? My name is Eric Rosen, and it's just been hard, all of this. I'm in Vegas now. My lifestyle in Vegas it's just a little bit different. I've grown a beard. Queen on b6 stops whites. DSB, I can do this. Dark squared bishop from developing easily. That's true. The queen here keeps an eye on this. That is kind of true. So one argument for keeping the queen would be to monitor this pawn. Which is not a half bad thought. It's just, I guess, not a typical thing that happens here. Please convince Eric to grow a beard. I never get in between another man's decision on facial hair, okay? You gotta let men be the man that they want to be. If he's just not a beard guy, it just means more beard for me, you know? The beard somehow made the voice less smooth. D4, look at that. So this is actually kind of surprising, but maybe it's, in a way it makes a little bit of sense. So let's say that you're white and you just traded a bishop for a knight. Your opponent has the bishop pair. You have the knight pair. And knights like really closed positions. Chat has immediately stumbled upon a tactic, which is actually kind of curious. Yo, wait. This is actually a curious tactic, dude. Yo. But c4 makes sense because now it's a lot harder for black to open up the position with d5. Let's look at this for a second. But that's like the main idea. You make it hard for them to develop and then you bring your knight out. Makes a lot of sense. But just, hey, what if? What if? And let's try to do it without moving on the board. If knight takes and they take back, you take back with the queen, which is check, and you attack the b pawn, or g pawn. Like, it's probably not worth a piece, because maybe they just develop and they have to, usually in high-level games, it's better to have a piece than 3 pawns. But I think it's 3 pawns, right? Because after you win this guy, you're guaranteed to win this guy. Or maybe king f1. Maybe you're not. Oh, but then you can win this guy. Huh. So even if this happens, you're actually making a double attack. I assume it's very bad, but it is cool to think about. Do you think he's calculating it? I don't know that would have, I love sacrificing. And apparently it's +2 for white if you take, because, you shouldn't blunder your pieces. But there is a funny line here. He's not known for trying anything dubious. Yeah, that's my understanding. He never plays funny lines. Just cold-hearted, boring positional chess. It is like tempting though. Once you see it, it is like tempting. But what is the best reply for white? So we take. I feel like you. Oh, he does it. All right. He's moving quick. Stop moving so fast. I'm trying to think about all the funny lines. It's going to be hard for black to get both bishops out. I guess we'll see. So this bishop already has a way out. And I think usually you play for d5. And sometimes this bishop ends up here and sometimes it comes out this way. We'll see what happens.
Vampire chicken cool.
Yo, Oval Stingray. Thank you. I'm glad you're having a good time. A name that I definitely know. So many names that I know because of I'm in the chat sometimes in the Rosen streams. Usually lurking, keeping my eyes on you guys. Okay, making sure everything's cool. It's good to have a lot of good things. I don't have a heart rate monitor, but the thing that I was gonna do is one, I was gonna have tea, but I've brought only an empty cup. And I was gonna set up the green screen, but I got busy with some stuff. So I don't have a green screen. I was gonna try to mimic a Eric Rosen stream as much as possible, but maybe tomorrow we'll have some tea and maybe a green screen if I can figure it out. He's about 24 or 30 rated, we think. But there's a lot of guys with this name that are GMs. So maybe it's 2505.
Water? Is that like cold and bland tea?
It is. So yeah, all I need to do to make this tea is heat it up and like dip a bag in it or something. Well, it seems kind of difficult because it's already in a mason jar. I don't know. We'll have to try it harder next time. I could shave to look more like him, but that's, you know, how would you wouldn't be able to tell us apart, and then it would be a problem. Because I'd say stuff that Eric wouldn't say, and then like it would just be an issue. Jabbo E. Simon, holy cow! A first-time sub. Look at that. Eric never could have. Maybe he's been lurking for a long time, and Eric could never get it, but I showed up and got it. Thank you for the sub. Much appreciated, everybody. E6 is interesting. Because you're trying to play d5. I'm kind of curious what happens if he goes here, even though I also suspect that it's like not a very good move. And in fact, it's maybe I've just spotted the reason. Maybe you just take there. Hello, Eric Rosen with glasses. Hello, chatter. That's it. I was trying to think of like what I know about you, but literally I know your one message in chat. I couldn't think of anything. It's the 2431. Okay, so there's at least 2 Grandmasters with the same name. Maybe we've come to the definitive conclusion, but maybe not. Both chess base and chess results thinks it's the 2505 British GM. Oh, wait, it's actually quite scandalous. We can't figure out which one it is. Look at, there you go. Wow, we have no idea. We don't even know who he's playing. Pawn h4, pawn h4. What the heck is pawn h4? Is this a Gotham rap I don't know? I don't know what pawn h4 is, but it was the second move. It's just, this game kicked off with this. And then 4 moves in, we saw a4. Lee Chess chat going crazy. I guess I could turn this off. I know a lot of people, it bugs them. If one person says turn it off, I'll probably turn it off. But if you do exclam watch, oh, I guess you guys will. All right, I'll leave you guys to it. Black wants to play d5. So I think as white, this seems to be the most flexible move I can think of. It's hard to imagine anything other than this, just because it's so flexible. But maybe if you are trying to play here, you consider something like knight f3. But I guess as white, you think if black plays d5 next, what is the move that I would like to have on the board? It is kind of like a delayed vampire, but the vampire is this? What's the vampire? The vampire is when you do this, right? Because they look like fangs. The way external ones, this is more like a crab. So you have the crab, you have the vampire, and you have like the creepy crawly. Is this the creepy crawly, or where you do like this and this? Or There's like a corn stalk. I think the corn stalk is when you play A4, but then the corn stalk just grows and grows, right? This is the corn stalk. You push your A pawn until you no longer can, and it gets stopped. And then you do the other stalk, and the corn stalk grows and grows. And there's a bamboo. There's just too much memes these days. I can't keep up with all of it. Magnus was the only player to not win a classical game in Norway chess. Ooh. I know I just like read Reddit, meaning I just scroll through the chess Reddit. And every day, here's everything you've missed. You've only missed one thing if you haven't been on Reddit. Don't worry, it's not a lot. It's, look, this guy's #2 in the world now. Ooh, now this other guy's #2 in the world. Yo, now this guy's #2. And then it's just like, it's just every single day their ratings change, which is like literally a necessity of any tournament being played. But that's all that happens on chess Reddit these days. Yo, Magnus lost the game. Yo, Fabi's #2. Yo, Hikaru's #2. It's just that all day. No, nothing interesting. Haven't had any good chess drama in a little bit, which I guess is a good thing. Meanwhile, Magnus didn't win any games. Yeah, he lost a bunch, and he's still so far ahead of everybody, right? It is worth pulling up as we eagerly await what White is about to play. So, never mind, 2700 chess, bad network gateway, just kidding. We'll never know. So if you're White, I think you're thinking, what do I want to do if Black plays D5? Which I assume you either want this guy out because you're going to start taking, or you want this guy out. Yo! High Life Hans! Hey, we got a Hans in the chat. That's 8 months for you. Thank you, thank you. Highly appreciated. May the bookkeeper note, the Eric Rosen bookkeeper note, that was a sub for me. Okay, we'll keep notation on it. We'll have to do some bookkeeping at the end. I appreciate it. Say it was Black to move. Would D5 or E5 be a good move for White? You mean for Black? So clearly, whoa, I didn't think that was going to happen, but I guess that makes some sense. I think clearly Black is aiming to play D5. And he's pretty well prepared to do it. So the opponent plays Queen F3. Here's how you guys become a Grandmaster. You move these pawns, and then the only piece that you ever need is your strongest piece, okay? Don't get tempted. You know, people that are not Grandmasters, they want to keep you in the dark. They think you should develop all of your pieces. That's garbage, okay? GMs don't want you to know about the flank attack with the early queen development. But it makes some sense if you think to yourself, they're going to play D5.
Let's go.
Yo! Veldraveth. Thank you. 17 months. It makes sense though, right? Or is this dumb? He's trying to prevent D5. And I guess the queen also has access now to, at some point, come over to G3. Like, if you don't move this bishop now, the queen might be coming to G3, and then, like, knight F3, you keep an eye on this guy. It's really interesting. He does, either he knows something we don't, or he's, you know, he's in Vegas and he's been partying a little bit too much at night. I'm not sure. But I guess it makes enough sense. I wouldn't have thought of Queen F3. Streamer beats podcaster in some Norway chess tournament. That's the headline. I guess that means streamer is Naka, podcaster is Fabi. I guess that's the headline. He thought he was playing anti-chess. How do you play anti-chess? This is really bad anti-chess by White, right? Anti-chess, no, that's not where the pieces explode. Anti-chess is where you try to lose, but like if you capture something, they have to take you back. Is that anti-chess? I don't know. I just assume he's like, okay, now if D5. Take. Oh, I'm not even sure. D5 might be very playable, but you always have to consider what you're going to do if they play E5. Because after E5, your knight's going to have to go back. And then there would be a lot of pressure on d5. And then maybe white would be able to take there. It's kind of interesting. But if the goal is to make black think and solve kind of a difficult position, like this is it. Anti-chess is when you try to get rid of anything, but if you have a legal capture, you have to do it. So like if you take here, they would have to take back. Is it like checkers? Since I can make a capture here, I would have to do it. Or no. I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably not going to go off on an anti-chess escapade. Queen f3. What does the eval bar say? So I guess the way that I normally do these things, and I guess it's maybe more of a chat decision, but generally I hate watching games with the engine. Because right now I'm trying to like understand this position for myself. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, so I want to be in black shoes at every moment. And as soon as I hit this button, it's like, of course, d5. If this is the top choice, obviously, duh. And then I'll just rattle off a line and then... So I think that it's probably, from a learning point of view, better not to look with an engine, but then definitely go back at the end of the game. And I think most people agree with this. So we certainly want to like go through it after, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things that were missed, and that's going to be very interesting. But during, I just like I will not be able to focus on the game at all as soon as I hit the button. The brain shuts off. As soon as you hit the button, it's like you just know the answer. It's like a math quiz where it's like once you look in the back of the book, you're not going to learn how to solve the problem for yourself. Came late to the party. What's the format? So it's, oh, actually, that's a great question. So there should be some information about it. So I have the schedule. It is an open Swiss. It's a super Swiss, but it's like an open tournament is my understanding. I just want to double check. It's a Swiss tournament. So if you win, you play people that are also winning. And if you lose, you play people that are losing. So there was one round already. Now there's 2 rounds today. I'll be trying to cover the morning rounds each of these days, with a possible exception that tomorrow might be shorter, depending on it's my son's birthday, so who knows? Maybe on the last day or a playoff or something. I don't know if he's making it into a playoff. We'll figure this out. We'll sort out the last day, but we're gonna do all these morning rounds. But it's 9 rounds, 90 plus 30, super Swiss style. So, yeah. Can you click on player profile? Not here. So this isn't his actual profile. This is a feed from the DGT that's going directly to Lichess. Happy birthday to baby vampire chicken. Yeah, he's my oldest baby. He's turning 11. What is a super Swiss? So a usual Swiss is like, imagine it's an open Swiss. Anybody can enter. And you do Swiss pairings, which means if you win, you play other people that win. And then ideally, you do that until the very last round, and then like the 2 best people are playing each other. And if you're losing, you get easier pairings. But in a super Swiss, the way that it works is you try to invite a certain number of like GMs and IMs entitled players from enough federations that norms become possible. So if Eric does well enough, he could actually get a norm from this. And I think even if he doesn't technically play all of it gets rid of some of like the federation requirements, because a certain number of federations have to be in the tournament, but you don't necessarily have to play them all because it's like a Swiss tournament. So he can get a GM norm if he does really well. And I think the way that the FIDE rules are structured now, you actually have to get at least one of your norm from a super Swiss. So we're going to see super Swisses become much more popular over the coming years. Like everyone is going to have to play these. So we're going to see these quite a lot. And it's basically like a giant open tournament with really good players. How well is well for it depends on like the rating of his players. My guess is it's a lot higher than 5.5 out of 9, more like 6.5, even maybe 7, like impossibly high. Because even though you got to get to 25 for GM, it's something like 2650 performance rating. You gotta really outperform what a typical GM would be expected to do to get a norm. Not easy. Not easy at all. Say super Swisses 10 times fast. No problem. Super Swisses, super Swisses, super Swisses, super Swisses, super Swisses. I think I got like 5 in there. That was almost as hard as becoming a GM, but not quite as hard. I just was bad at that too. D5 anyway. Kinda clean though. How many norms do you have to get? So it's 3 for IMs, 3 IM norms to get the IM and 2400. And for GM, it's 3 GM norms and also 2500 at some point. You got me. He warned me that his chat would get me. He said, don't, whatever you do, don't do the, if they tell you to say something 10 times fast, don't do it. Yeah, the plan is to cover only Rosen, but like every now and then, maybe if a game finishes, we can take like a super quick look. But just to kind of get to know who else is playing. Max Liu versus Hans Neiman. Ilya Nizhnik, also from St. Louis. Danish Borosh, also from St. Louis. We got the Chessweeb crew. Alexander Ostrovsky. This is some content creator as well. There's a lot of like content creators up at the top. Are there any other names? I know like most of these players. A lot of these names are very familiar. Kostya Kavutsky from Chess Dojo. But yeah, maybe if a game finishes, we can take a look. So for FIDE Master, it's the last title. It's the hardest title that has just a rating requirement. You get to 2300, you're a FIDE Master. So you don't need any norms. So it's a lot easier. And then, so IM though is then a huge leap because you also have to start getting norms. I'm not sure what Eric's top rating is, but we know it's at least 2400. An Eric versus Kostya game would be hype. They played recently in a Friday action quad at the St. Louis Chess Club. And Eric posted that on his channel. Stuckfish, thanks for the 5 months. Very, very cool. So if you actually want to see Eric and Kostya play, you go to Eric's YouTube channel and you look up the video. I think it's called like what really goes on in an IM's mind or something like that. Am I also from STL? Indeed. Yeah, I'm 10 minutes away from like Eric's house by car. So I could get to his house very quickly. But I'm not at his house right now. You can tell because I chose not to use a green screen, so just to ensure that I'm not at his house, so that he doesn't have to be worried that he's getting robbed. Because I guess I'm the most likely person that would rob him. Guy that recently lost his job, needs something badly. He knows Eric's out of town. I'm the most likely culprit. That's why he has actually told me to be here and stay on camera so he can see exactly where I am. Do we hang out? Occasionally. I get to go to his birthday parties. But I do edit for Eric, so like, you know, we call and text regularly, I guess. How do you know I'm not using a green screen? Oh, shh. It's just what I want Eric to think. Did he finally fire you? No, somehow I got promoted, dude. Now I'm the commentator. I put potatoes, you know, it was a high risk, high reward situation. Could have got fired for all of those potato Rosens. Somehow I got a promotion out of it. I guess he liked the ingenuity. I don't know. Do you guys like Eric's position? If you had to sit down at this board right now and play somebody of your strength, which side would you like? 1 in chat if you like white, 2 in chat if you like black. Two, two, one, two, 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 two. Oh, that's a lot of twos. A couple ones, but a lot of twos. Some people are in the middle. Some people want to be at a completely different board. A lot of twos, couple threes. I mean, I think I would definitely want to be black here. Just because it's sensible. You only want to be white here if you've come up with something interesting that like maybe we're not seeing. Yo. Oh, it's not going to read the message. Duda says 100 bits. Come on, Eric. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, this is like, it's going to be a very interesting game for sure. And if anybody messes up early on, you know it's going to be white, but probably won't happen. Yo, we actually get to hear TTS?
Thanks for hosting, Mr. Chicken.
Yo, Dave WS. Yeah, I really am happy to be here. Like, honestly, this is one of my favorite things to do is to watch like high-level games like this and try to take some sort of learning from it. So let's see if we can actually learn something by thinking about what we would do here if we were white. So, because I actually don't see anything promising in this line. If e5, you can force the knight to move. I guess you would go to d7 because it immediately attacks the pawn. Then you, I mean, because even taking here, it doesn't like accomplish that much. Even taking out of the equation, the knight being able to take back on e5?
Have you come up with any fun gambits for either side yet?
Oh, great question. Hey, Half Evolved. I haven't come up with any fun gambits for either side. Well, there was a major one right here that chat pointed out that he could have sacked an entire piece. So this was actually an interesting moment. Like, it probably doesn't work out for black. But just a few moments ago, this was kind of interesting. And I wonder if this thought, even though it's not good for black, made white more likely to defend this pawn using a queen. I don't know. But this would have been interesting. You get 2 pawns immediately, and then it's a double attack. So you're going to get at least 3 pawns. But you're going to lose a knight, and it's a good game against a Grandmaster, so you probably lose. But this was the interesting gambit. But it's really hard to gambit when the opponent plays on the side. How are you meant to gambit against this? You're not going to play g5. That's not going to make any sense. How else would you gambit? d5, and if they take, play e6? It's tough. I mean, I'm sure the gambits were there, but it's pretty tough. Okay, knight to c3. I think this makes a lot of sense. Okay, you guys like g5? Certainly would have been a crowd pleaser, but probably not the best move. Gary loves pizza. Gifting to X-Ray Gray. Let's go. Whoa, 288 gifts in the channel. Let's go. Thank you, Gary. F5. Okay, we're stuck on the gambit stuff. We can stick with the gambit stuff. F5. What is this one? It's like it's the vampire. It's the reverse vampire. You know, you probably lose immediately. But if you played the vampire like here, would you want h4? Maybe it's an improved vampire. All right, but we have like some serious chess moves now. Maybe we should try to be serious. Knight to c3. So now this is attacked 1, 2, 3, 4 times. But let's count the defenders. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. Looks like potentially white's about to win a pawn. Did I kick the knight? So I think some people are saying let's play d4. But I think this is exactly what white wants. The advantage here for black, in addition to the potential that it's not easy for white to castle, is the 2 bishops. So I don't think we'll see him lock this up unless he finds some concrete way of gaining an advantage right away, which I feel like this has got to be helpful for the knights. So white is trying to encourage black to play d4 in order to lock this all up.
Go Eric.
Yeah, go Eric.
Norm.
He can get it. Thank you, Viking Mush. Yo, they're coming in hot and fast. PJCore 007. He's here. Let's go. Good to have you with us. It's actually kind of an interesting moment. Oh, Gary loves pizza again. Wait, he gifted a sub to another pizza guy? If your name has pizza, you get a sub in the Eric Rosen channel. I wish I knew that strat. I got to change my name to Vampire Pizza real quick. Thank you, Gary. D4 is the only move. What have I missed? Wait. Important comments. We have to figure this out. You'll have to say it again. Do people like this move? Am I crazy? Because I don't think that we're gonna see it. I think it's much more likely that black attempts to open up the position in some way rather than close it. I also wouldn't play this. I like this. So either you consider giving stuff to white because it ruins their structure, which is probably unlikely. But I think this actually makes a lot of sense. Getting to this structure, where the pawn structure is symmetrical, but you can try to argue somehow that there is a potential weakness here. Might not be that easy to exploit this h-pawn move in that position, but I don't know. Risky to open it up when he hasn't castled, though. I think black is a lot more likely to be able to castle safely in the future than white. Honestly, I think if you're black, you wish you could open the e-file, but white's never going to allow that. Because long term, it's going to be the hardest for white to find a safer home than black. Black can still castle here at some point and be fine. Probably unlikely that he castles this way, at least early on. You know, down the line, maybe it'll be fine. But it is a very interesting moment. Is there anything to consider besides a pawn move? Like, obviously this is possible, but I think it's more likely he tries to keep it open. Mods can feel free to run, like, whatever predictions on the next move. I guess we already have a prediction going. I don't think we can have two at the same time. But we can think about it. Does anybody see any other move? Interesting is here, and then putting this knight on d7. And I suppose your point is you're going to go here, you're going to attack the queen, you're going to put pressure on this. But you might also force him to go here to a good position and then pin your knight. Yeah. I just think that when he has the bishops, I think that he's going to prefer to open up the position. But it's not so easy to see like exactly what black's going to do after this, and you'd want to figure out what they're going to do. How about h5? Is there any idea, or are we just copying? He's a grandmaster, we're just copying him because what's good for a grandmaster has got to be good for me. I guess you would only play this if you're worried about g4, which is probably not something, it's probably not the top priority. Also, if you play some random move, I guess you're just ignoring that white is going to take here one way or another. You're going to take back, and they're going to take back somehow. I don't know. This is all going to happen. And then you, for some reason, played h5. So you can't go here yet until this pawn moves and is protected by a bishop. In some line, this becomes an option as soon as the bishop is connected to here. b5. Let's do the count here real quick. 1, 2 is attacked 1, and we'll just ignore that there's like a kind of semi-pin here. 2, 3. Doesn't look very promising. Oof. Sorry for a random question. Those are the only ones I read. But how many meals do you have in a day? I try to have 2 really big meals and like a third meal or snack. Today I'm running on only 1 meal. I'm dragging here a little bit. And because I did a stream that was a lot longer than I expected earlier today, so I'm recovering from that. And I only had time, but I ate a whole pizza in between streams, and that's all I'm running on. I hope at some point. Oh, I did have some breakfast. My daughters really wanted. I've had 2 meals so far, so I'm doing fine. I shouldn't be hungry, but yeah, my daughters really wanted to make bagels. And I had to make them with my super secret Schrantz original jungle sauce. That's what I call it to get kids to eat bagels. I have a secret recipe. You take a bagel, you put butter on it. I don't know why they like butter, but that's what they like the most on their bagels. Then for a little bit of extra spice, here's what you do. You mix 2 parts cinnamon for 2/3 cinnamon for every 1/3. Oh my God, Eric, you're letting me down. For every 2/3 cinnamon, 1/3 sugar. Okay, kids go nuts for that. They love it. And then you don't tell them what's in it so that they don't know you're feeding them sugar. Wait, chat was right. I'm wrong. I'm a fool. D4 followed by the immediate knight to E2. I call it jungle sauce. Cinnamon and sugar on a buttered bagel. Who are the 2 best chess players in the chicken household? Is the 11-year-old a London devotee? No, I would never teach my kids the London. You got me confused with the guy you're used to seeing on this stream. I have been warned that we might even have to watch some games of somebody playing a London in this tournament. But my daughter actually invented an opening. It is a gambit more dubious than anything I've ever come up with myself. And that's somewhere on the Vampire Chicken YouTube channel. You could probably search like Jonathan Schrantz' daughter or something. But she played a game that actually really surprised me. My kids say they don't like chess, but then sometimes they play it and have fun. It's a tricky thing. Some are looking at the move e5. e5 makes enough sense. It would enter into like one of these reverse King's Indian defense kind of structures. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know what he's after. He prioritizes development. Bishop to d6. Getting his bishop out. Eric is like following a lot of just straight up good chess principles. And his opponent is doing a lot of funky stuff. He's trying to be a good teacher and role model. That's so nice of him. Even though he's playing in some tournament, he's doing everything he can to teach all of us. What an incredible guy. Top engine moves back to back. You're telling me this was the best move? How could it be? I guess if you want to prioritize development, I guess it is. I just would have assumed he would prefer a more open position with the two bishops and just the way that white is played on both flanks. But I guess Eric he's got a different thing. So when we all listen to his round 2 recap, he'll explain why he played d4 and not like opening the position or playing some other move. And then it'll make sense, and then you'll be like, oh, but the idiot on the VOD said, and you can just scratch it from the record. We'll have to expunge some of it from the record. But bishop to d6 activates a piece. He can castle now whenever he wants. And he might be focused playing against this guy. I am a bit curious, though, about bishop to g5. Is his intention to actually move this knight out of the way and then go with the other chatter's idea of eventually putting a knight on e5? Could be. Haven't seen ads on Twitch in a long time. Watch me change that. Sucker. Nope, that command doesn't give him ads. Okay, well, you're free to go. Oh, you are seeing ads. Oh, I guess there's ads. Ads are good. Are they? What are the ads now? There's been some like pretty decent Twitch ads, right? They're not like all dumb. Sometimes maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just an idiot. What was I watching? I'm like, oh my God, I just watched an ad and I didn't even blink. I'm like, you got me. There's a Photoshop ad I see a lot. You got the yogurt one? I guess, do I know the yogurt one? So what is white gonna do here? Yo. HVL, thank you for the prime. That's 15 months. And now, I guess, and you won't be seeing ads now. Maybe HVL was watching the ads and then realized, oh no. Others are realizing I'm not Eric Rosen. Some of you guys have been watching for like 15 minutes and haven't noticed I'm not Eric Rosen, though.
Can't risk seeing ads.
Yeah, there you go. See Gillette 15. Thank you for the prime. Enjoy no longer watching ads. I get local ads when they're talking in Norway. In Norwegian because I'm from Norway. I thought on Twitch there was no like targeted ads. I thought everybody got the same things. Like, 'cause sometimes I see ads in Spanish. Wait, you aren't Eric Rosen? No, it's me, guys. It's me. Keep watching. Don't worry, it's me. You can trust me. I'm the same Eric you know and love. So now if the queen tries to come here and keep pressure on this, I'm wondering if he can castle. A quick analysis. Here's the kind of things you need to look at when you're playing, but he does have something like this. I don't know. If black ever castles, we'll see if there's some attack, which makes me curious. Let's actually not talk about this square. I guess you got to like trade this off and then we'll go here. Let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Again, dude, this is like hour 8 of me streaming today. Very long day. Leave me alone. Strong move. Strong move. Let's say that hypothetically what I meant was, in a position where these things were already traded off, would it make sense for white to try to provoke black the castle or not? Okay, let's try to save it. We can save it. So what does white do? If black has the two bishops, doesn't white want to trade one of them? Bishop h6 here is really funny. Bishop h6 here is very funny. Because if they take, you take the knight. Hey, it's Chess Dojo Live. Wow. Shout out to Chess Dojo Live. You didn't think I would be here, but it's me and not Eric. How's it going? But also, I didn't think you'd be here. Because one of you is playing in this. How's Kostya doing? Shout out to Chess Dojo. They were supporting Kostya, who's also playing. He's playing somebody named Austin Me. We'll take a real quick look here. Ah, it was David. Good to have David. So this is the Kostya game. Okay, some sort of Tarrasch. All very common. This is the Lenier Dominguez specialty. With B6 even. I think if we go to the Masters database, there's going to be like 1 million games here. This is, where's Lenier Dominguez? I expect to see his name a lot. Maybe I got to get down the list. Here he is. I found him. He's down there. He loves This Is Black. H6. All right, around here, I start running out of ideas. But it's very common that white sacks a pawn in these lines and then tries to maneuver a knight, and white plays for some sort of checkmating attack. These are always interesting lines. So he's down a pawn, but he's got his rook up already. Rook swinging over, knight comes in. A lot of fun stuff. Thank you, Ego, for the prime. So hopefully Kostya does well, but we'll be primarily focused on Eric. Mikulger, 24 months.
Jonathan, such a nice surprise. Love your
thank you.
Video. So much fun.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Miko. Very cool of you to do another prime. 2 solid years. So I'm trying to actually come up with like the best plan. Happy to see you too, Joel. I'm trying to come up with the best plan. I think if it were me, I would probably be spending most of my time considering bishop to f4, attempting to trade for this bishop, and I'd be very happy if black agreed to go in for this swap. But we'll see what white comes up with. Am I playing in tourneys nowadays? Not chess tourneys, but I did play in the world's largest Risk tournament earlier today. But no chess tournaments, only Risk. The Kilpete Open, some people know. So actually right now, people don't know because most people are chess people. But there's the world's biggest Risk tournament is coming on. Oh, the Psycho Squad is in. Shh, keep it chill, guys. It's only day 1 on Eric's stream, okay? The Psycho Squad is in the building. Do I know what kind of tourney is next? For me, no chess tournaments ever again. I honestly, I find it very difficult to play chess tournaments over the board. Like this time control, I just cannot focus. I really have a difficult time playing for this long. And maybe I'm alone, and it's weird because everyone's like, oh, he's a chess player. He must play a lot of over the board chess. But I don't really. I really prefer just playing blitz and I like chess, but I'm not really going to be a competitive chess player. The Scrabble tournament. Is there a big Scrabble tournament? There's one guy that is good at Scrabble. All I know about Scrabble is there's one guy that's good. And there's only one guy that's he's just the best. Do I have ADHD? I'm not diagnosed, but I do get asked every single day on Twitch. Number 1 question asked. But no, and as long as I don't get diagnosed, then nobody can prove it. I don't know. I mean, it's just hard to concentrate. It's the 23rd century. You guys, People are like, dude, TikToks are long now, you know? You ever watch a 15-second video and get bored halfway through? It's like, it's life's different, okay? Life's a little bit faster than it used to be. Haven't played Risk since I was a kid. But isn't the basic winning strategy to get North America first? On the classic map, a lot of strong players prefer North America as the best start. I'm a bit of a Europe main, but I'm going to try to keep it to the chess. I do take Australia for content, but I assume most people don't care about Risk. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people like it. The goat of Scrabble is like Magnus at his peak, but since forever, maybe even more crushing. Yeah, I don't know. Axer Typo. I know the formula. Okay, Axer Typo is a Scrabble YouTuber. You just got to talk about that one dude that's really good, because I keep getting videos recommended to me, and it's like, hey, this one guy is like insane at Scrabble, and I look and it's got like 1 million views, and then I go to the Scrabble YouTubers channels and it's always like that one video popped off and nothing else. Every Scrabble, Nigel Richards. There you go. If you ever make a YouTube video on Scrabble, just talk about that guy, because it's all that people that don't play Scrabble know. I know that he learned like French. The sentence, didn't he learn the ... I think the answer is like French. He learned like French and then dominated like French Scrabble competitions, right? Yo, H5. There it is, H5. Nothing's going on. We got plenty of time to play H5. Yeah, I had no idea what white was gonna play. Here. I want to be a YouTuber. What's not taken? I don't know. Just make Mr. Beast videos. The things that get the most views are not Risk, Scrabble, or even chess. It's things that appeal to slightly bigger audiences. H5 though. Hey, did you guys see this? So actually this is a pretty serious threat. The threat of playing H6 is actually very serious. So I think black will need to respond. And what did white gain from that? Like, I'm pretty sure you'll have to play H6 here. Yeah, but what then? Look, if I knew the best Mr. Beast level video to make, I would just go make it. All I know is chess and Risk, so I'm pigeonholed. Welcome, Blooper Bye. Hopefully I said that right. They sack the bishop. So this H-pawn is defended by the rook. But yeah, it does prevent black from castling. If you have to play H6, you can no longer castle so easy. Because if you were castled, then bishop takes H6. Would mean if you take back, you would lose this knight, and then you'd just be getting crushed. So this is very interesting. I'm wondering if black's thought process was, okay, white was thinking, okay, black is about to castle, how can I stop it? And they came to this conclusion. Because, I mean, just castles, you walk right into this, which is going to be very dangerous. Because either white is taking, or if you push, you're just losing your knight and getting checkmated, basically. Here does prevent this bishop from going here. That's very true. I'm imagining in my head that the bishop is going here. So an interesting like thought experiment when you're like sitting there at the board and your opponent is taking like 10 to 20 minutes is to try to think like, where do all of my pieces go? Because you might be like, this knight needs to come out somewhere. Where is this knight? How is this knight going to get out? Which road is it going to take? Where's my king going to go? And you kind of need to have like a plan for everybody, because if one piece ends up being bad, your whole position can be bad. So if here, you certainly are you're basically trying to provoke either a trade or you're provoking black to play e5 and just close down the position, which again might be good for the knights and maybe would give you access to certain squares. But here, facing this threat, Eric just moves the knight away. Wow. So he plays knight to d7, voluntarily retreating the knight. So now if here, I guess he's going to play g6. Or maybe he's going to start with something else first, but then play g6 at some point. Huh. He did that pretty quickly. So he must have been spending some time thinking about this move for white on his turn. It feels like he's trying to stay far ahead on the clock. But he's not like, it's not that much. It's 18 minutes. It's not like a huge deal. But it feels like Eric is trying to like play a little bit quicker. But maybe he's just really focused and he was like ready. If he plays here, what am I going to do? And he already kind of thought about here, but then I can't castle, and he came to this conclusion. G4 now in lose. Who loses? White? Does G4 lose? Because if here double attacks, you have to put your queen on kind of a weird square. Yeah. I don't think we'll see G4. How would you trade rooks? It's going to be tough. You're thinking, if you see how we get to the position where we trade the rooks, you're thinking a lot farther ahead than me. I'm going like, how do I get my bishop? What's my knight doing? By being dumb, I'm silly? All right. That's fair enough. Most of us are. And yeah, this square is going to be useful for white. I think one problem is that it can only be used by one piece at a time. But this at some point could come in. Is there any reason not to play this immediately? Because you might as well try to provoke g6. But if here, you know, you just got to think kind of carefully about all the moves. It feels like you're almost forced to inevitably put this queen on h3. In any line. In any line. Just, it feels like this queen is going to end up on h3. Sometimes choosing the worst option leads to better play in the long run. Maybe. But I guess the general strategy is to try to play the best moves, but I don't know. All squares can only be used one at a time. That's so true. That's why when you have two pieces that want to go to the same place, you always have a problem. What's the idea behind knight to d7? So in this position, if you play here, I'm thinking this is what might be what Eric was thinking. I'll never be able to castle because then I always have to worry about this threat. So sensing that that was coming and not wanting to play h6, he decided to go here. And he also might be just trying to take control of this e5 square because at some point, maybe he is going to put a knight here. And the knight is very good here, at least temporarily. It won't be good forever because at some point f4 and like you have to move away, but for like a little bit in the right position, it comes with tempo and it puts some pressure on the opponents. But I think it's just like, maybe he's trying to castle. He saw white's threat and he reacted to it. But it's kind of a curious move. I'm not 100% sure about it. You also could play h6 and then later play this. But I guess he thinks it's worth allowing the opponent to play here. And I don't really understand why. I'd probably shut it down, but maybe this is not so great. Maybe he wants f5. If f5 right away, it probably is even possible to take. Because then you're threatening to double the pawns here. And you're probably very happy if they trade and get your knight out. So I can't imagine it's f5 right away is the threat. But we'll see. I don't know why white shouldn't play here. If white plays h6, does black have anything better than g6? This is my general question. It's an open book question. Everyone's welcome to answer. If h6, what would you play as black? You would all play g6? In general, you would never want to go here. Because then in this structure, no matter how they take back bishop or rook, you end up with this weak h-pawn, which could become a future target. So taking would be very bad. You'd have a weakness. g5. Now there's a gambit. Is it interesting at all or really dumb? Because takes, it's really dumb. It's actually just really dumb. I was like, I don't know, maybe you put a rook here, but I don't know. I don't think it's that interesting. I don't think we can make g5 work, but you know what? I'll reserve the right to pog out when we see g5 on the board. After here, another possibility is bishop to e5. I think again, so you're defending this pawn, but I think it runs into kind of the same problem that even if white takes, maybe there's other moves and you take back, you end up with this weak h pawn, which I think you really want to avoid. Maybe getting Jonathan and his gambit brain on here wasn't best for a classical game. Yo, g5 now. Damn, Rosen, you aged a little. Yo, it's the Vegas, dude. One night in Vegas, and I've already aged. How much older am I than Eric? Like at least 6-7 years. I aged like 6-7 years just from one night in Vegas, dude. So you could start with this, which comes with tempo against the queen. Like for sure, this is like another move to think about. And the queen doesn't have a whole lot of squares to go to. Although maybe you did open up a path, but g6 is coming, so you probably don't go there. Like it feels like if h6, you go here, and this guy comes over, you're still gonna end up playing g6 anyway. Eric, you look great today. Thank you. I've never felt so young in my life. Eric is definitely playing faster. And I think that's intentional. I think he's like intentionally playing faster. Didn't know Eric was that young. Or maybe you didn't know I was that old. I love what you've done with the hair. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are too nice. This guy's super low on time. It is move 11. So it's pretty low on time. I feel like it's actually not that unexpected. It's almost, well, I'm trying to think of which is more likely or more expected.
Can I support Fernandez just for today? It's the first time I've seen Eric play someone from my old school.
Oh.
Come on, the old Mancunians.
Yo. That's very cool. I don't exactly know what it means, but I guess you know this guy? Do you know this guy? I'm pink, therefore I'm spam. Can I support him just today? Meaning you're gonna root against Eric. Okay, I've puzzled the pieces together. You could, if you know this guy, but you also know this guy. But that being said, like half of you are like betting against Eric winning this game. We gotta channel point things. No, he's 30 years younger than me. I guess you can root for whoever you want. Like, who's gonna stop you? But I guess I'm here to root for Eric. How long does it take a vampire chicken egg to hatch? 9 months. Are they gonna get more time at 40? That's a good question. I actually didn't see that in the rules. No, they don't. So the time control is just 90 plus 30. There's nothing at move 40. And I think that this is actually, therefore, the shortest possible time control that you can play and still have norm eligibility. The origin story of Vampire Chicken. Look, I know you think you're gonna get it out of me. Fang Duster might actually know a small portion of the legend. I'm not entirely sure. But one day on my stream, I did a, if you beat me, I'll tell you what it means. And nobody beat me. So to this day, the secret has been mine. But don't think just because we're on some other guy's channel, I'm gonna explain my name. I'm shrouded in mystery, okay? I keep all of my secrets to myself. I knew I recognized you from somewhere. It must be the risk. That can't possibly be true. Although it could possibly be true. It's so weird that that is possibly true, that people can now recognize me from Risk before chess. But I guess it's possible. I'm 100% confident Eric's going to win. Nah, you're just looking at the clock. But it feels good. Is that Risk champion Jonathan Schrantz? I guess I'm what I'm most known for now. Is a Grandmaster still around? Yeah, of course. He's making videos of the Norway tournament, presumably. I'm like the Joker and Batman. He tells many origin stories, all of which are made up. Oh, I could just have ChatGPT make up stories. Yo, oh, you want to know what vampire chicken means? Create a unique backstory for a Twitch user named Vampire Chicken. Oh, you want the origin story? Well, let me tell you. Once upon a time, in the mystical realm of Cybershire, where technology and magic intertwined, there lived a talented sorcerer named Victor Thorne. Victor was a gifted spellcaster known for his mastery over the dark and forbidden arts. However, he was also an eccentric individual with a particular taste for the unusual. Yo, this goes on forever. Dude, I don't think I can get to the end of this story. This story is like 6 pages long. But yeah, that's as much as I can tease you with for now. Maybe more on my origin story later. Look at this. Wait, look. He did the thing again. H5, A5. What the heck? He did it again. This guy, he's been playing the super crab, man. Paste the story in chat. I don't know if I can put this many characters. All right, here you go. For everybody curious on the vampire chicken lore, here you go. Does this it can't. I have reached the character limit of 500. Impossible. The super ultra crab. The cornstalk, it grows and grows. Yeah, it just keeps magically growing. So it's interesting. Like there's something that we're missing. But Eric might play B6 at some point to prevent this. Yeah, it's a delayed opening. Thank you, Frenzy Lee. H4, A4, H5, A5. I don't think the knight was like going there or anything, so it's kind of a surprising move. Like it makes sense positionally though. It does make enough sense. Just to prevent this pawn from ever moving, because now if ever like B5, you can do a very special move. And I know Eric has taught this one. I believe it's called en croissant? En passant? I forget what it's called, but there's a magic move here. So basically you're preventing B5. Or making B5 like not super great. And peasant? En croissant, right? Isn't that what it is? I forget, it's a magic move. But it is pretty forced. So, and I'm pretty sure if we saw B5, we would actually see it. Assuming that, you know, the Grandmaster knows en VW passant. En passant? I don't know. It's beyond most people's comprehension, though. I was watching a Risk streamer recently who's rated about 200. He was playing chess for like the first time. And he missed a chance to play en passant. And I told him, oh, you could have played en passant. But then he said like, oh, what is that? So I told him to Google it. I said, Google en passant. And then I think he actually just did it on the stream. He's like, oh, what's en passant? I got him. B6 anyway. So this is basically a similar idea to if white would ever be able to get this. Whenever you move this pawn to B6 or here, and white is able to take this, you end up in one of these positions where this pawn can become a weakness. Now, it's not like really weak right away because there's a bishop and a rook. But in general, long term, you probably don't want to have this pawn it's isolated and protected only by himself on a file where white might be able to create a lot of pressure in the future. Is this Eric Rosen's channel? Yeah, of course. Eric, there he is. Look. What, you don't see him? Would it make you guys more comfortable if we put him on the screen? Like, if it would help, like I could get a little photo. Oh wait, here it is. Oh yeah, no. We actually have, here he is. He's in the tournament hall. Look. Hey, it's Eric. Look, there he is, guys. There's Eric. He's right here in the tournament hall playing in his game. Thanks for joining live video. Oh, what's that? You can't have his picture in the tournament hall? Get it off, get it off, get it off. All right, thanks for joining the show. That was some live feed of the tournament hall. Add a goose instead. Copyright strike. Who's he gonna strike, himself? So you're telling me if I put some Eric Rosen based content on the Eric Rosen channel, could he copyright strike me? Dude, I'll be like, dude, it's your own channel. You can't strike me, dude? It was your own stream. I could strike him? Yo, that's an image I created. What was it doing on your stream? You think I can get him? Go to court, have to show that clip. Me just going, no, and then like in front of a judge. Am I still editing Eric Rosen videos? Yes. There is one I've made recently that he hasn't posted. I guess I shouldn't spoil it. I'm not sure if he's teased it yet. Usually during these events, I end up making some of the recap videos. I'm just waiting for Eric to get so tired, like during an event that what I need if I want to edit a Eric Rosen video is he needs to mess up a lot. So he did his round 1 recap, but he's still at like full strength. The tournament has only just begun. At like round 7 is going to come around. He's going to be like, and then I can like cut out all those pauses for him and then, you know, edit a video. Can we place a duck on screen? We can probably listen to like copyright-free duck sounds. But maybe that's too much. I know viewers usually don't like any background distraction. Anyways, what is Black going to play? Hey, there's a game going on. So it's actually kind of challenging, right? Like, what is Black actually going to play here? Are you still going to play H6? We need the duck sounds? Yo, no, Eric, I said that you can't do that. En passant. En passant. What are you doing? Copyright-free duck sounds? En passant, you don't have to think about it, it's forced. Here's a 5-second duck sound, royalty free. All right, I hope you enjoyed. That will be all of the ducks for the remainder of the stream. That's plenty for me. That's all I needed to know. That was pretty cursed. So I'm actually very shocked that he did this.
Say hi to the vamp.
Hey, hi JJ Timberwood. Didn't you already give a sub? Wait, I thought you already did something today. Maybe you gave bits. I appreciate it. When does this game turn into duck chess? So I only played duck chess a little bit, but Eric was really good at it. So in duck chess, what would you even do? Where would you put your duck? We could imagine. Is there a yellow? Yeah, we can do yellow for a duck. So in duck chess, you could take... And you could like block this bishop by putting a duck there. Does this work? Look, oh, it's a duck. Yo, it's a duck. I have a duck now. Ah, no, wait, no, sorry, whoops. Sorry, goofing around too much. Hey, this is a serious chess channel. If you guys could behave a little bit better. He warned me about your misbehavior. Look, we're trying to stay focused, okay? We gotta recapture this pawn or something, okay? No time for the goofs. Now, I doubt this is possible, but we're going to find out. So if white played here right away, they would be attacking the rook. But is this curious at all? E5, bishop b7. Can this queen go somewhere? The queen could go to one of these 2 squares where it also attacks the g-pawn. So actually, what is happening? If here you go to like g4, let's say... Maybe just have bishop takes. Maybe everything's just fine. Okay, so probably there's no e5. Yeah, probably you can just at some point take back with the bishop if you need to defend this guy. So e5 looks like it's not a threat. Eric now at some point might consider going to b4. Because either you move your king, or if you block with the bishop, you might be hanging this pawn. There must be something I'm like missing here about this position. Because isn't Eric just doing very well? Isn't this just really good? So here's an arrow. If it was black to play and he played here, and we ignore this move temporarily, we would have this. I guess we'd have like rook a3. It feels like so close. It feels like black is actually really close. This sub goes to our new Eric Rosen. Let's go. Did I miss a sub? Believers rejoicing? They can't believe it. But yeah, just queen b4 simply looks like it's a really good move. Like, white needs to be ready for this. What happens after queen g4? So if they go for this now, which makes a lot of sense, I think the interesting line maybe is to calculate here and see how far this craziness goes. But if queen g4 right away, what are we actually going to do? Queen g4 might be a very good move. It's a 30-second increment, but there's no extra time control. So every time they move, they should get... It's DGT, so this isn't like 100% accurate. You know, he could be at 33 minutes. He could be at 27 minutes. It's usually off by a little bit. But when he makes a move, we should see 30 seconds added. So yeah, the interesting line is here, which doesn't necessarily mean it's the first thing you should calculate. But then if queen takes, we can take here. And I'm wondering if it's possible to bong cloud the king, even though that's d2 instead of e2. Is that possible, or does white get checkmated somehow? But even if not, the other thing is that like white also would have just king to f1. Rook would then be hanging and have to like move. Don't know. Who is this more dangerous for? Could be more dangerous for black. So this seems like an interesting move. I don't know what black is meant to play. You could also, you know, defend this like a million different ways. But you could also ignore it by playing check. This is another way to ignore it. And then if the king moves, figuring out how you want to do it. Maybe you check first even. Yeah, Neiman is playing in this. So Hans Neiman is on board 1. We do have Danish Boros has a draw already, which is the only top level game that's finished. You think he's trying to set a trap? Do you see anything in particular? Eric is... Okay, so this is like a really interesting position. Usually in positions like this, he tries something. Yeah, I'm trying to like think of what he could be thinking. And a lot of the times when you're playing in games, you're basically thinking, especially when you're playing a good player, and I am a GM, etc., more than, you know, other people. You're constantly like, okay, what is their big trick? What is their funny line? What does Stockfish say? I got no idea. I'll definitely check at the very end what Stockfish says. But like, if I know the answer, then it's like, no. Actually, you can just kind of do whatever you want as long as you defend it correctly. Yeah, what does he think? He's going, ooh, there's a funny line. What else does Eric say? I thought of just making a list of all the Eric isms and then trying to like do all of them during the stream, but then I realized that's really hard for a very low payoff joke. Am I really a GM? Yes, but not at
34 months.
Not at chess. Thank you, Ed Frost. Always appreciated. That's 34 months. Long-time supporter. I love Ericisms. I think if I asked ChatGPT to give me a bunch of Ericisms, though, they wouldn't be able to figure out what I meant. So it's too hard. If ChatGPT can't do it, then it's too hard. Haircut. I lost some hair today. I have more hair, right? It feels like he's gained hair today. I think I have more hair than hair. It's similar, right? It's similar. Why doesn't e5 win a bishop? So yeah, we were looking at this, right? Because it attacks the rook. And then if bishop to b7 attacking the queen needs to go somewhere. And then the only square that I think the queen can go to make a threat is either g4 or g3 attacking this g pawn. But then bishop takes, not knight takes, defends this pawn. Now we don't have to stop there because there could be like f4. Actually, maybe the line doesn't end there. But that's not what happened. So when we do the analysis, make sure we take a look at this because it's still kind of interesting. So queen goes to h3. It's in every line we've seen, it feels like this queen is inevitably going to end up over there. And now this knight can actually come out to a normal spot. Very mysterious, though. This is the only, like, minor piece that's been developed. And it's move 14. He moves the queen a lot. He moves the flank pawns and the queen, like, a lot. Where's Eric? He's right here, but he's also in Vegas. So this is it's the 1000 GM Super Swiss that's going on in Vegas. But wait, isn't this like good? I mean, you could convince me that this is good too, but isn't this check just good? But yeah, you'll never know what he's doing because you know what happens in Vegas, it stays there. Except for the chess moves, those get relayed across the entire planet. There are images that we looked at the beginning of the stream. There's images of the playing hall. The playing hall looks really nice. It looks like a giant hotel, but it could be a casino for all I know. It's a giant open room. It looks really nice. It's just a bunch of tables, but it's sort of an eloquent banquet hall. Usually these things are in hotels because those are the only places that have big enough space for like hundreds of players. Have I been to Vegas? Yes, but I was a kid, so it was not fun. I went, I don't know why. I think we were just passing through on a long road trip and we spent a night in Vegas. And then I remember that like my dad dropped me off to
Eric
like
looks different.
gamble. Thank you, Christian Dionge. Very much appreciated. 32 months. Everyone is like so long. So much support for Eric. It's really cool to see. But I remember like the only game I could play as a kid was some like basketball game where I could throw the basketball into some hoop. But it was somehow like a scam and my dad knew it was a scam, but I was a kid. I'm like, Dad, I'm really good at basketball. Let me do it. And he's like, all right. And then somehow it ended up just being a scam. You like it bounces off weird and you can't score a basket. I'm like, all right, well, we got scammed at a casino at the only kid game that I was legally allowed to play, but somehow my dad made like enough to buy like a taxi back to a hotel or something. So let's go. Pog. My dad got it twisted and made us enough money to take one taxi ride. That's all I remember. I got scammed at basketball and my dad got it twisted. Yeah, like the rims are like weird, something. And like my dad knew that it was a scam, but I'm like a kid. Like, no, I'm on the basketball team. I'm so good. My parents got lost and forgot me on a trip to Vegas. Oh no. I got lost once. It was really scary. But then when my parents eventually found me, they were like not scared at all. So I'm like, wait. It felt like forever, but maybe I'm a kid. Maybe my parents are like, whatever. Where is he? Okay, come on, it's time to go. But in my mind, I'm like, where? Where are my parents? Wait, where's Eric? He's in Vegas. He's playing a tournament. I'm here talking about it, but mostly talking nonsense. Yo, just add blue. How's it going? Please, somebody tell me why this isn't like incredibly good move. Engine likes black. Yo, believers. Minus 1.7. I mean, it feels incredibly good. Like just this, which is like the simplest move I can think of. It seems incredibly good. Because you're not going to go here and give up this B pawn and then let black get this pass pawn. You're going to be putting the king on F1, presumably. Which maybe is fine. Maybe you have some ideas that if in the future you get this rook out some weird way, but like, yeah, check confirmed, strong move. And it's just weird because it's like, it's not hard. It's just the only check. Like, I'm not trying very hard to find good moves during this game, but like, it's just kind of weird because it's so like obvious. Depth 50, it's only 0.4. Yeah, but it just feels so good. Yeah, Eric's definitely beaten GMs before over the board. You are not Eric. Well, how do I know that you're biggest dickus one? Wait, he warned me about reading usernames out loud. Queen B6 threatening checkmate? Where's the checkmate? B3 is also like a very interesting move as well, right? Like, so I'm also thinking like Queen B3 could be very interesting. This is -1. And the second best is to just castle, which is also great. How many GMs did Eric beat? Look, I'm just a dude. I'm not keeping track of how many GMs Eric has ever beaten in his professional career. What an insane question. Can you imagine if I knew and like, yo, it's 16 and here's all of the examples? That'd be like, you'd be like, this guy is actually he's too much of a psycho Rosen fan if he knows the answer. Did Eric really tell you to be careful with usernames? No, it was a joke. I made it up. I was trying to cover my tracks and I made it up. And now I've been called out, so I know Eric would want me to be honest and let you be informed, but he did not. He did give this check though. Yo, the opponent is speeding up. Look at this. Gained time on this move. Sometimes when you're in this position and you've like clearly like you got yourself into a bad position, you got to make this move like so fast. Like, oh, you queen b4? Oh, you thought queen b4? Just play king f1, whatever. But you're bluffing. And we all know white's bluffing, okay? We all know white realized a little bit too late that queen b4 would be good. And he's just, play it fast. And now black might psychologically, oh no, wait, what have I messed up? He's bluffing though, he's bluffing. Don't trust him. Oh, it's a bullet game? Queen b3, knight here, not checkmate. Oh, you guys thought it was checkmate? You'd be wrong. It does look like not good for white. It might not be that easy to win for black, but it certainly doesn't look good for white. Han's very close to winning. We'll look when this game finishes. This is a very interesting moment in this game as well. But we'll take a look at the Hans game at the end because everybody cares. We'll show the eval at the end. It's allegedly half of chat says it's good for black and half says it's equal. So it's, you know, in that range. Definitely during the game, like, you know that this is good for black. You just might not know how good. Am I actually winning? Is it just like better? Is white just going to defend? So, but black is doing very well. Eric has a great position here. -1 for black. This feels about right. That feels about right. It's not so easy though, because like, what's the next move now? It could be queen b3, but I'm wondering what else. Eric's been playing so like principled and logical. I expect he'll like develop a piece or something. But this bishop might be good on this diagonal. So I don't actually know what to do now. Maybe queen b3. Queen b3 in a way prevents this knight from coming to this square. Wait, so what do you play on queen b3? You might have to play rook a3, but then you get checkmated. Wait, what do you play on queen b3? Queen b3, threatening here. Do you have to move the king or something? Queen b3, f4. Oh, f4 makes a lot of sense. F4 is good, because check, check, then you can come up. Okay, f4 makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, maybe. But like, you have to find something. The thing is, you have to find something, so they will find it. When you have to, you will find it. Knight f3 is possible? Knight f3 blunders this pawn, though. So knight f3 defends against the mate. If our queen is here, knight f3, we give check, the knight can come back. If we play here, they go here, we can take this pawn. Right? I mean, you might be looking with an engine, so I don't trust myself. f4 might be the only way. If Eric doesn't win this game, it'll be super tilting. There's a lot of times in chess where you don't win this position against a good player, but, you know, fingers crossed. Let's see if he can come up with a good plan here. How's it going, Hugo? Eric, don't say I never did anything for you. First time chatter, Hugo. We brought you one new viewer, okay, Eric? Don't say I never did nothing. I know you did a lot of work to get 1,000 people to watch you at once, but I brought a dude over too, so don't say it was all for nothing. He is playing for norms. So if he does well enough, he will get a GM norm. And by well enough, he's got to win this game. I'm only watching for Jonathan Schrantz. Dude, I've seen you in Eric's chat. You can't fool me. /user just add blue. What's this? 999 messages? Nice try. Hugo was my best friend in elementary school. He was here for ages, but he finally found the chat. No. Those are all the times you missed. Yeah. All these people always go into the wrong chat. Okay, I understand. Watching for the instructive engineless analysis. Let's go. Yo, if I hit this button, how many people would just like leave? It would be too many. Am I Eric's dad? No, I'm not quite that old. But I'm 3 people's dad. So that you can hear them upstairs if you listen closely enough. Yo, Queen B3 though? F4. He's the Eric Rosen is the Northern Siberian for Jonathan Schrantz. What? Yeah, okay. I guess I don't have to read every message, but I thought that was going somewhere.
Really well so far.
Yeah, he so is. Thank you, Agent Orion. Coming in with a prime. It's looking amazing. Look at this. Man, so glad Rosen is on so I don't have to visit that second-rate Vampire Chicken guy's channel. Dude, Shellster, dude. This is a professional stream that we're on right now, okay? You can't bring these kinds of things in. But that makes at least 2 Schrantz viewers, okay? 2 viewers, Eric. All I had to do was stream on your channel. Give me 2 hours on your channel, dude. I'll get you 2 viewers, all right? Imagine that. You got to do whatever it takes to grow around here, okay? There's dozens of us. That's really cool. I do recognize a lot of names, which is really cool. Hey, anybody like want to play white here? Queen B3, 91%. Castles. There's also here. So like every move is good for this. Dude, I'd love 2 viewers, right? Who wouldn't want 2 new viewers? The GM is never going to notice. So I think if you play Queen B3, like this is a position where you have to find a solution. So they will. When a GM has to find a solution to a hard problem, then they will. A lot of the times it's easier to trick people when it's like, they don't know that there's a problem. Once you know there's a problem, it's easier to find the solution, which I guess is to move the F pawn. And then what, like you could still play this as black. Obviously, like you could still do this. You could still give this check even too if you wanted to. But I'm trying to figure out how to actually get something from this. Yo, what? He's lost his mind. F5. What in the world? He hasn't played a gambit. Dude, like he just, I need to play a gambit. Dude's actually crazy though. What? He's trying to open the file, the F file. Oh no, my advantage. He's trying to like castle, or he's gonna go full psycho here. I think he wants to castle or something. I don't know what he's thinking. Is this big brain or is this crazy? What is he doing? F5. So obviously white doesn't have to castle. But like, what if white takes, doesn't have to castle. White obviously doesn't have to capture. But what if he does? What if he does? Is he gonna castle or something? Setting up castle mate easy? Is he winning so bad that he's just trying to set up the mate that gives him the funniest meme for the thumbnail? He must have calculated something, but he just completely reversed. Wow, was white actually? Yo, no way. He in like less than like 30, 40 seconds, like takes. Really? He was ready for that? Hugo! That's a sub. Look, Eric, first time sub coming your way. You're so welcome. Don't say I never did nothing. Turn on Stockfish? No, I refuse. Until the end, and then we'll blast it. But I don't want to know what the right answer is. I want to like figure this out. Because this is crazy. What's the eval? Why are all of you eval Andes going nuts, dude? Nobody knows. That's like the fun. The fun is not knowing. He just took it back. So if takes, rook f8, right? Or like, but what's the idea? Where can I see the game? Yeah, exclam watch will lead you right where you want to be. Because it's being broadcast on Lee Chess. If takes 95? Let's see. Attacking the queen. 95 revealed attack on the queen. Where can the queen even go? Not a lot of places. Oh, wait. So if the queen takes 95, the queen's gonna have to move away. You're gonna be like taking here, threatening checkmate. Yo. Jacob Musics. Thank you so much for the prime. This is crazy. That is a wild idea. But I mean, obviously, like, what if white just doesn't take? But imagine. So white probably won't take this pawn. Bishop f4 is maybe the best move, but it hangs this b pawn. Bishop f4, there's some takes here. What is white somehow like, oh, then the rook could just like come in. Oh, that actually could be like insanely strong for white. Oh, dude, this move could be really strong. At some moment here or here. Yeah, I've kind of been expecting this. Now this might make a little bit less sense. Just because g6, this pawn structure is solid for a moment. Maybe not long term, but for a moment. He's trying to trap this queen, right? He's in his head. The line, there's a bunch of arrows in his head that I can't see, but it ends with, oh no, my queen. After here. Ah, whoa, he found it. Bishop f4. Oh no, this could be very strong. Oh, but, you can take this right away, but that might not change anything because he can still just go here, lining up with the king. I mean, there's some situations where it could be Eric is the one that's getting actually in a lot of trouble. Oh no. Is f5 gonna somehow backfire? Eric is worse than Schrantz. Hey, don't let him hear you say that. I didn't say it, Eric. It was the chat, okay? It's not my fault that they liked me more. This is so crazy, right? This is so scary. Maybe you like just take and bail out with castling, but you didn't play f5 to do any of that. So after f5, I won't be surprised that he's like after, oh, I played f5, I didn't see this. But the opponent like must have been calculating f5 because he's now, the guy that was going so slow is suddenly banging down moves left and right. So it's like, what the heck? The guy actually calculated f5? Eric just got impatient. I mean, he obviously must have miscalculated something, but, or he still sees some trick that like we still don't see. But I'm guessing that he just missed bishop to f4 because it's such a hard move to see because it hangs this pawn and this pawn hangs, it's also attacking the rook. But the e-file's open now, so it's crazy. Mies Creek, 9 months of primes, let's go. I wish we had a live feed cam of Eric's face. I wish I had a second gimmick, but I only had one gimmick prepared in case somebody said it. And we already did the potato Rosen thing, so I'll have to come up with a new gimmick for tomorrow. But hopefully if this goes well, I mean, we can like up the production level over time, hopefully. And maybe for future tournaments, if this becomes a regular thing, you just got to tell the boss man, just tell Eric like, yeah, keep having the dude do the thing. And then like, I'll come back and we'll do the thing and then we'll go. All right. I was trying to ignore that maybe I messed up somebody's name. I was just going to keep rolling with it. But my apologies to Mr. Mies. Mr. Schrantz, do you ever play over the board tournaments? I cannot. Like, I just emotionally can't, and I don't have the attention span, and it's just so stressful. I do not enjoy myself when I play over the board chess. It's just like, it's stressful and hard and long, and it's just, I can't. So I don't play like competitive chess very much at all. Levy said that too. I mean, it's very true, but he like, I guess still does it. When it's hard for me, I give up. No, that stuff's hard. I give up. But I just play, you know, I play for fun on the internet. Can I analyze knight f6 instead of f5? So this is where things started to go wrong. So he just recently moved his knight here, but if he goes back to f6, I mean, it's probably just a completely fine move. I don't think there's anything direct, as far as I can tell. Some future F5 means that there's also some pins. I think it would be weird for the knight to go back, but it might be better than this. I don't know. Takes bishop f4. So I think we're going to see Eric sink a lot of time here. I think his number is going to be lower than the other guy's number. He's got a lot to figure out here. So let's see if we can come up with any solution. Who's better, Eric or Levy? At what? Chess? Duck watching? Tea drinking? I don't know. Eric's probably better at tea drinking. Probably better at duck watching. I think at chess they're like about equal. They've had like 2 big matches and they were like 1-1. Aren't they? Like, it's pretty competitive. Oh, at drinking in general? All right, he's taken. At drinking in general, I don't know. So he took. So I think after knight takes, though, he's not going to take this b pawn. He's probably just going to castle. I don't know. Knight is like immediately sneaking in. This knight is coming in. White is thinking here. If he takes more than a minute to think about this move, I'm going to assume he's not at the board. What else could you take back? Or you really shock everybody. But that move doesn't make a lot of sense. If he wins, he gets GM. No, but he can get a GM norm if at the end of his tournament, he's played all the rounds and he has like a high enough score. So it depends on who he plays, but it could be like 6.5 or 7 total points in order to get a norm. Ah, wait. So castles, you guys say knight g6. Which obviously if we take, there's a pawn here and now this threat is crazy. But knight g6, which, you know, would be a shock. Does it make any other threats? Eric made a recap on round 1. Close your ears if you don't want the spoiler. Eric Rosen in round 1 won his game. Okay? So that's the spoiler alert, but you should still watch the video. Hopefully you can open your ears now. Here's the signal. You can open your ears now if you want to come back. So knight g6, like obviously he doesn't take. I don't know. He moves like his rook or something. So he drew. Okay, thanks. You're welcome. Yeah, no, they didn't know. They closed their ears. What do I do besides chess and risk? I'm a dad, and I do a lot of YouTube. It's scary, right? Will Eric be a GM? I don't know. I guess it's not likely that anybody becomes a GM. But in our hearts, he already is. So, you know, what's a YouTube? I guess you're not the target audience. If here, I mean, white could probably just take this, though. Probably, because, like, you're not going to take then. It is quite scary. It's quite scary. But you put this in my head. I need to get this out of my head because that's not what's going to happen. He's going to, like, develop his knight or push. Because g6. Now, is there any sacks here? Probably not. Not immediately, at least. You imagine you have to play g6. I would imagine. This is interesting. Why does he want to force g6? He just wants to have this pawn here, and one day when you're not looking, he's going to take this. He won't sack right away, but at some point. Nobody has suggested g5. Ah, there it is. I knew it. No, not g5. g5, the most weakening move. So he's going to play g6, for sure. He's quickly, like, making sure he doesn't, like, lose immediately. But that doesn't look like it. g5. That would be shocking. I'll gift a sub personally if he plays g5. That's not going to happen. There's no way he's going to play g5. No, Eric went insane. Did he do it? Do it for the memes. Just one. Yeah, just one. which is twice as many as I usually do in a month. So that's true, just for the thumbnail. Dang it. He is Eric. He's the only guy in the world that would even consider it. Oh no. Oh no, my one sub. The third engine choice. It feels weakening. Third strongest move. I've been imagining G6 is best. It's not gonna happen though. He's gonna play G6. He's a respectable chess player playing in a highly competitive field. Yes. Whoo! Safe. Saved. Also, it was +7. Saved. I made a bold wager and I got away with it. But I mean, there's so many, like, these knights are going to be obnoxious. This knight could be coming in here. I mean, there's so many. The knights are going to love this. These guys are going to feast tonight. Yeah, this is a really cool position. For sure. So I don't think white can really defend this thing, like, very well. So I think white is going to give up this at some point and just kind of gambit it for coming over. But also this pawn is, like, at some point then going to run. But these white knights, it's going to be so scary. It has the makings of one of those positions where, like, black is winning, but then white can try to find, like, the tricky, complicated tactic, and it's up to black to, like, defend correctly and see all of the threats. Fernandez will just sack the knight and push the pawn. So if he does it right away, we put the king here to stop it. And then what? The queen can come in and attack this pawn. But it feels like there's so many ways to defend. The rook and the knight and the other queen. I don't think that this works yet, but it's always there. So every single move, both players need to be careful and make sure they're looking at every sacrifice. Yeah, so as Eric, you almost want to, like, get a couple trades in. You probably want to get, I think if you take one of these knights, if you could trade one of the knights, you actually, like, as weird as it is, might be happy as black because you're not going to get mated probably. Did I blunder a mate? Here. Am I not? I'm defending this. How did I? Wait, am I really dumb? You're making me feel like I'm dumb. Takes, here. Queen in. Doesn't happen. Okay, now there is an actual threat. Now, queen g3, there's an actual threat of taking this. So we have to do something like this. Or the gutsiest. Allow this. Because probably they don't have time to take. Maybe, I mean, you consider this. You do consider it. And you try to work out what happens. Vinny Chase. Thank you for the 38 months. That's one of the longest ones I've seen on Eric's channel. Thank you for the sub. No way you can take on B2? Okay. What do you want to play? I take on B2. Your turn? Mocha S. 95. Wait, you're going away from this. Wait. After queen takes B2? You probably play like rookie one, right? And then I do whatever defense I want. I don't know. I don't really want to play it. I'm scared. If check, I play knight f8. Is there a live stream of the players? Not this time. Probably not for this tournament. This is the testing, doing commentary. Who knows how it'll go? So far, it's going great. So maybe we'll keep doing it. As long as you guys keep showing up and watching, I guess we'll just keep doing it. Stockfish says +5? No way. No way. White is winning now? Are you... Don't debate me. You're telling me that Eric is losing? No way. There's so many ways to defend. With queen b2. Okay, so this move is wrong. Okay. Queen takes b2 was, you know, just to try to find a move that's not rook f6. But like, you're gonna get into like a weird thing where this queen's gonna end up here. Somehow I'm imagining like this is the way black has to like set up, and then somehow a knight comes in. Like it's I think it's gonna be really hard. I think it's gonna require a lot of accuracy now from black, and this all comes back to F5. Without F5, like black just had a great position, and now it's not obvious to me like what's gonna actually happen here. Queen B5 defends? Okay. What? Now I know I'm getting trolled. Eric has a series of only moves to keep black at a slightly better position rather than outright win. That's exactly how it feels. It feels like black is probably still better, but it's like impossible. And this is all because of F5. He missed bishop F4. Very sad. Rook F6, knight D5. Ow. Oh. Ow. Hey, stop. I don't imagine you're going to let me do this one, huh? I guess you're going to take that. Wait, how do you defend this? It has to be queen B6? Do I have to play queen B6 to defend this? Which is kind of sad, because this queen was destined for such great things. But now it's going to be relegated to defense, huh? Queen B8 only move. Holy cow. Ah, queen B8. Oh, wow. Because if the knight takes, you trade the queens. Oh, wow. And even if the knight gives like a check, you just move up and they have to recapture. So they can't take. Wow. I know Jed is cheating, but that's really, oh no. If he has to play queen B8, this is bad. Queen B8 is not easy. Queen B6, very possible. This blunder also possible, but Eric will probably see a one move knight fork. But this requires like ingenuity. This is not obvious. It's not so hard, is it? I think this is a much harder move to spot and play than queen to B6. Because any move that like directly defends is going to be the most obvious, right? They just made a threat. The first thing that comes to mind is how do I like just directly defend it? And so here and here come to mind. Also in my head, I'm trying to play knight F8, but I got a stupid rook in the way. So I want my knight on F8 to defend. I don't know what's wrong with queen B6, but maybe it's just not the most accurate. Like maybe this rook just starts coming in, or the other knight comes in, and like it's just still a bunch of pressure. I don't know if there's anything like objectively wrong. It does potentially run into this again. But Rook E1 says the cheating chat is the strongest, and that's very believable. You have Rook E1, you have knight D5 coming, like it's all tough. Knight E5 right away, defending this immediately. There's here, possibly here attacking the queen and a revealed attack. I'm trying to figure out exactly what's going to happen because there's like queen B8. Like it's getting really messy. Do I want you to stop cheating? I don't know. You can cheat if it whatever makes you happy. I don't know. Do whatever you want. What do I care? I'm just not going to look at the engine. I guess you can do whatever you want. He plays knight E5. So we're going to figure out what happens. So here looks possible. Just bringing the rook in immediately looks very possible. So yeah, I mean, white just has like a ton of threats now. Question. Let's say we defend our knight. Let's say they take. Excuse me, YouTube notification. Oh, thank you. I always get notified when anybody with like a certain number of subscribers comments on a YouTube video. Shout out to people with lots of YouTube subscribers. You can take the knight, right? What will he do after knight F3? Cry. Oh no. Yeah, knight F3 also so strong. Every move is good. And our time advantage. Yo, this is like, he's gonna die, right? Is Eric just gonna die? Yeah, if you turned away, he at some point played F5. And that's where we believe it began to slip. Because after takes, instead of taking right away, which possibly somehow maybe loses a queen, the opponent just developed. And now Eric's just like in an insane amount of trouble. Knight F3 still here. I have one question. So if takes, do we have this move? Yes, because of the queen. So, okay, this still works. Which is why you need to go with this one. But rook e1, queen b8. And knight f3, I don't know. I mean, there could also be like just weird stuff that's just or normal stuff. Why not knight d5? It's very possible. Here, knight d5, attacking this guy with the rook and the queen, while getting this knight into excellent striking range. It looks amazing. It looks really good. Knight f3, maybe there's here. Maybe he can put this here, but only if the knight comes to f3. Ah, the difference is the knight. Because if here now, then f3, which invites you in for a check, but probably you can sack. And then take here, do a double sack. Oh no. So he has to play queen b8. He will see this, that f3 comes and then rook takes, followed by here. He will see that. But will he see queen b8? Oh no. You can do it, Eric. Because really there's... What other way could you even conceivably defend this? You have to literally either move the queen or defend it. And this doesn't help. So I think he will see that there's only two moves to consider. But which one will he play? 0.9% chance he plays here? Let's walk through this, though, just to make sure. F3 here. Takes. Is there anything else? You definitely can't take the knight. You have, like, in this, like, your single check doesn't even do anything. The knight is actually, like, poised to prevent counterplay. Oh, no. Oh, no, Eric. No, yeah, I didn't find it. No. No. Oh, knight takes g6 here? Are you crazy? He's gonna play f3, man. Dang it. QDC 419. Thank you for the sub. That's your first sub to the channel. I appreciate it. Never been a more dramatic time. How would queen b8 be good, though? I think it's just maybe it doesn't lose on the spot. So if here, I actually don't know what the best move is for white. But if ever knight f3, then you can come in this way, because now there's no f3. So what's the alternative? White can sack? But then if here you can take and put your king here, because your queen sneakily defends the g7 square. So I think the big difference is that you can only play knight g4 if this knight is on f3. If the opponent can play f3, or apparently knight g6 apparently also works, then it just doesn't work. Oh no. f3, there's rook a7, of course. Ah, yes, I see it now. Ah, but of course, I just sack the knight. Maybe, okay, maybe. Oh. Oh, he found it. He's a Grandmaster. Oh, no. Knight takes g6. So if we take back, what's the deadliest way? Here. We go here. I'm trying to like... Or does he just the queen come in? Does literally just the queen come in? No, there's a defense. Oh no, but there's not a defense. Then the rook. If takes queen here is the strongest. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude. That is crazy though. But I mean, it's a GM level tactic for sure. So still here. So Eric needs to like, the problem now though is he needs to transition to just like finding a way to get like a bad but maybe hopefully acceptable position that you won't know if it's actually like losing or not. Oh no, my belief. A believer's in shambles. They had such a good thing going. So he has 27 minutes. There's no extra time, but he needs to probably just try to get like a bad losing position, but something that he can just like play and hold and just grind. Oh no. He's just down a rook. He's down an exchange, right? Is he down a rook? Right, let's say takes. What is he down? He's down a rook. Well, that looks pretty bad. the trap, that's a Rosen trap OTB. Now that would be like, that'd be pretty pog. Do you guys like realize though that Eric has had like 200 plus of those stalemate traps? Do you guys like, can we like actually take a second? Like, hey, you know, Eric's the stalemate guy. That's pretty cool. But can we like actually just take a second to be like, he's actually done this like 200 times, 200 plus, right? Like if you do that Rosen website, it's like actually 200 plus. Can we take a moment to be like, you know that like most people get like 1 or 2 and he's got like 200 plus. It's like actually not a joke. It's insane how many stalemates that dude has. It's actually insane. Can we just like, it's not like just a cool thing. It's like actual insanity. Can we take a moment to recognize? So if anybody could in the world stalemate from this losing position, it would be Eric. He's literally quoted by tons of GMs. Like, let me make sure I don't do a Rosen stalemate. It's like incredible. I got like maybe 1 or 2 like in my life. Like the situation just doesn't even occur that much. It like, you just don't even get that many chances. Can we get some claps or what? He's not good. He's a god. Rook F6 is mate. It looks pretty good. So you're, wait, wait. All right, what does black do? So you take, but then there's here, Rook F6. There should be a mate. We can try to calculate it, but it looks, I mean, starting with that or starting with this. Oh God. All right, let's see if we can work it out though. Queen goes there. Man, you can't play Rook F6. There's no way that I'll believe that is even close to working. Sacrifice queen for rook and knight. So you're suggesting here then, and then take this, oops. Yeah, excuse me. Here followed by here. I assume still this one. Possibly this one. Possibly this one. I mean, there's going to be something. So after here, I thought it was going to go like F3 and then takes, but I think actually Chad has pointed out this one is just strong. This also looks strong. I mean, everything, it looks bad. Queen B8, it's always been the right answer. But yeah, even just this endgame though, it's so depressing. An exchange, right? It's only an exchange. I don't know. I mean, there's some chance that, you know, okay, whatever, I'm worse, but, you know, I'm still playing the game. You know, it's only an exchange. Some people sack exchanges just for fun. It's over. Well, all right. A GM has been identified in the chat, understands that down an exchange means you actually just lose. Looks pretty garbo. Yeah. Dang it. Why did he play F5? F4 here. The knight is defended by the bishop. So if knight takes, I mean, also possibly some sort of intrusion also looks, also just like a check. I mean, wait, okay, wait. Let's look at this. Maybe. I mean, it's probably not good, but like, do you have to take back? And you're threatening like maybe F3 or something, but why is that? There must be a reason that it's bad. I just don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure out why. F4, if the knight takes. Big if. Yeah, a lot of people are calling for this line. And I don't know what white does, but I'm sure it's not easy. Even F3 maybe, but maybe there's got to be some queen move that's really strong. There's just got to be. I can't tell you exactly what it is. Am I related to Northern Lion? I can't be alone in thinking I sound similar. I do get that quite a lot. And there's somebody else. Whenever I'm excited, people say I'm Gotham Chess. I'm either Gotham Chess or Northern Lion. Which I think just means I have like allergies and like my nose is congested. So it's just like how I talk. I don't know what it means. With a delay, Eric might already be able to record the recap. If he has like a good game, we could always call him at the end. He would probably join the chat, right? I know Eric. He would join the chat. He would say hi. And then we'd all say, oh, sorry for your loss. But then the joke would be on us because he somehow won. And he would play along. Oh, yeah, harsh game. And then joke would be on all of us when he somehow won. And then the believers would rejoice. Or the slightly more probable, he resigns. If the game ends in the next 15 minutes, he probably resigned. If F4, knight takes, queen D2, attacking this. I mean, it could be like as easy as F3, because the knight can't move, it's pinned, but after queen D2? Could it be? Why can a GM be so good at chess? Yeah, it's weird how that works. It's so weird how the people with the highest title in the game are like often quite good at it. It's so strange. Thanks for guessing Eric's moves. I can just I'm just going to pick out like 5 random moves here. It's getting tough to even come up with anything. I was right that he was going to run out lower on time than his opponent on this move. What's my rating? I haven't played very much, but it's like 1970 FIDE or something. I haven't played a FIDE game though in like 5-6 years, something like that. There's a GM that's 1900 rated? Is that really true? Like, how does that, I mean, I don't want to clown the guy. Like, that's fine. Whatever. Does seem pretty tough, though. I do think it's really cool when somebody that, like, because I think most people, if you got GM, as soon as you start slipping, like, let's say you were good, you got 2600, like, whatever. As soon as you're like, oh gosh, I'm like 2550, I'm losing my rating. I think most people give up, like right there. I think it's really cool that some people just like, all right, whatever. I'm only like a 2400 strength. I'm really old now. And they just like play. You're like, wow, that guy, he actually likes chess. He didn't just do it to like impress random people that he could do it and be a GM. Like that person actually likes chess. They obviously don't have to anymore, but they're still doing it. I think that's always cool. because it probably wouldn't be me. I'd be like, I'm slipping. I'm done. Tournament's over. I'll make videos on the internet and just coast off of this high rating for the rest of my life. And if I never play, it's a weird flex. Yeah, but like being a GM is such a weird flex. I think that like in your mind, when you're going for GM and you put in like years and years and years of hard work, you think that you're going to get it and there's going to be like giant parades in the street and everyone is going to love you and it's going to be amazing. And then that's like not what happens. You tell somebody you're a GM and like, that's really cool. You know, it's a cool thing. And that's like all you're ever going to get. So you're basically spending like years and years and years of your life to like get mild recognition from people you probably don't even really care about that much. And you probably don't get any girls despite anything to the contrary. Unless if you make bank, then yeah. But the normal GMs that aren't making bank, that means they're also not getting the girls. And they never had time for the girls. They didn't even have time to practice their Riz because they've been too busy studying rook pawn endgames and whatever nerd stuff. So they got no girls. They didn't make any money and they barely impressed anybody at all. So you got to do it. Like it's just kind of a weird thing. Wait, no GM groupies? No, that's just for Hans Neiman. He's just one guy. It's the whatever. It's the thing that proves the false thing. Like one dude's got the girls, but that's it. You get to say I'm very good at a board game. And people are like, wow, that's, that's cool. But I'm not going to throw a parade for you just because you spent 12 years of your life and reached like the highest heights of something really tough. Thing that proves the false thing. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. What is what is it called, dude? It's late. I've been streaming for like hours today, dude. I'll mess you all up in Candyland. Yeah, for real. That's what it. Wow. Oh, you're the top Candyland player? That's really cool. I'm not gonna give you a cookie and throw you a parade, but that's cool, man. You did it, huh? Caspian 168 coming in with a sub. Thank you so much. Glad somebody's enjoying it. It feels like I've reached the point where I can only just spit out nonsense, but I'm glad some people are having a good time. Eric plays Catan, right? Has he ever played Catan on stream? I think like Eric, he plays Catan. What should happen, this is a direct call out to Eric, is we should have a stream where like he teaches me Catan or whatever the game is that he plays, and then I could teach him Risk. Because I've never played Catan, but he's never played Risk. Competitive Settlers? Is that an Eric thing? Like, you could fool me. There's some game that like Eric plays, but we need to do a non-chess stream where we play the other things that are fun but not chess. Do you know that there's board games that are not chess that are also pretty pog? Does anybody know? He does play Scrabble. He would destroy me at Scrabble. What about Civ 6? What would actually be fun to play with Eric one day on stream that's not chess? Obviously, Manjaro says Risk. Mancala. Yo, we should just play we should have a stream where we do all the board games. Because like I know of Mancala. Shogi is possible. Yeah, we should just play all of them, even if we don't know how. We can play Go and neither one of us will know. He'll be better at Go. I think he took Go more seriously than me. We could do Go. I mean, I'll get crushed, but that's funny. Secret Hitler. That doesn't sound like a game Eric would play, but I'm down for like whatever. Yeah, play some Connect 4, some Uno. Yo. Just destroy that dude at Uno. Yo, International Master at Chess. Take this reverse card. Yeah, Go Fish. Now we're thinking. We can play War. War has no strategy, right? Does the game of War where you just like flip and the highest card wins? There's like no strategy, right? We could just play War and trash talk. We could play hide and seek in real life. We could play Scrabble in a language neither one of us speaks. That'd be great. All right, he has taken the knight. Let us see. Here was the analysis on takes. Just queen somewhere. Oh God. So let's see if we can be a little bit more concrete than just like, I don't know, maybe queen d6, maybe here, maybe f3. Let's see if we can. So my candidate moves would be here, here, and here. Let's see if we can narrow this down. Rook e7 also makes a lot of sense as well. Oh, and also here, you also consider this move as well at every turn. So there's like, the thing is, like, white still has to make a choice here, and there's like a lot of choices. And the more choices, the harder it sometimes is to play the absolute top choice. That's the only hope we got left. So if he plays here, Eric is saved. Allegedly. All right, but that was one of the scary ones. So queen d6, lining up with the g6 pawn, and threatening a checkmate. So we absolutely 100% have to defend this square. Also, maybe there's some other checks, but maybe they're not as scary. And the problem with rook f6 is this rook can come into e8 with or without pushing this pawn. So I would try to figure out, do I push first? Which looks, well, actually just pushing just wins. Because either you come back here and this happens. Okay, here's our rook a7. Or, yeah, so we're like, yeah, I mean, a7 I think would just win. So he plays here. The rook now defends. So if takes, we can't block with the rook right away, but we can put our king in the corner. And at least at the moment, the knight is preventing this queen from delivering this very lethal check. But this knight could always be kicked at some moment. So I guess as white, you're thinking about taking, and you're also thinking about pushing at every turn. And at some point, you want to kick this knight away. Forced mate. This is just over. Plus 75. Usually that means mate. Knight somewhere is very smart. Hey, GM Gascon is raiding with a party of 75. Hello, viewers. I hope you weren't expecting to see Eric Rosen over here on the Eric Rosen channel, but big shout out to GM Gascon. Hopefully you had a really good stream. We are watching an Eric Rosen tournament game right now. He's playing in Las Vegas. I've been doing commentary of this game, and we've reached a point where it is not looking particularly good for Eric, unfortunately. Going up against a very strong Grandmaster here. And it looks like white is going to win, potentially with something like this. But I think chat maybe has found some other very incredible things. 5 gifted subs from Pack Shipman. Let's go. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of the subs. A lot of hype for all the subs. Let's go. But it's not looking good for Eric. You think I followed Fabi's example with F5. Oh no. Is it our very competitive man? Eric's chat is strong. You guys are like, it's mate in 14. No, it's mate in 15. Dude, you guys are strong, or engine users, but most likely just you've learned a lot over here. Hey, that's me, exclaim Jonathan. Hey guys, like check me out. I also stream and stuff. Make a lot of YouTube videos. Hans analyzed by Jonathan Schrantz. Yo, Hans won. Okay, look, this is getting depressing. Real quick. I said we'd look at this Hans game. Hans won with black. Real quick. We're gonna get back to the Rosen game. But this was a Catalan, which he always plays this closed Catalan version. Don't know too much about it, but I do watch me a couple of Hans Neiman games. And he loves this closed Catalan. Everybody challenges him in this. Let me just say to the competitors of Hans Neiman, Hans is actually like quite good at this. And people should try to like find a different line to play against him because he always does well. What the heck is happening? Ah, wow. So you can't take because then the queen's hanging. So they take with the queen and they just lose material. Ah, and wait, but then this queen is trapped. Wait, all the queens are getting trapped. And then he doesn't take the queen. What is happening here? This is some crazy stuff. Oh, thank you, Manjaro. I appreciate it. And then like somehow the queen just lived. Oh, that's funny. All right, my best advice, if you guys are planning on playing Hans Neiman, try not letting him play that closed line of the Catalan. He always like does well. The algorithm on YouTube actually shows me quite a lot. Let's go. I know of all the other creators, like there's obviously a pretty big tie between me and Eric. So I imagine Eric Rosen viewers have a lot more crossover with my YouTube videos than a lot of other people. I appreciate everybody that checks it out. Show the position with the queen taken. No. That was it. That's all the Hans Neiman I can do for now. I really want to see what's going to happen here. Because white is... Okay, white... Is it still like only one good move or... You know, there's still like... There's so many candidate moves. Even this is like a move, but not really. If it is a mate in 14, you think he's calculating all the way? It is probably easily losing. So let's just look at this. Let's go here. Like, how does white continue? I still don't exactly see the direct win. H7 is equal. Wait, that's crazy. So if this is just equal, and this could easily be played, because you might think you have F3 here. Because if the knight moves, maybe you can take and play queen here. But if you're telling me this is equal, that's kind of crazy. Rook E8 being suggested? Here? How does Rook E8 work? Look, I might be getting tired, but how does this work? Then you would be able to just push. Ah, wow, come on. He's not going to play Rook E8, though, after this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, he played here. Okay, this is like, I mean, this is a reasonable thing worth considering as well. But this, yeah, this does make, it makes a lot of sense. It does make a lot of sense. But instead he played here. He didn't play the top move. I hate it. Now knight F6. Oh, but then this thing's hanging. Knight F6. Are you crazy? No forced mate? Let's go. His opponent messed up. Hey, it's Kyle and Jess play chess. How's it going? If you are confused and you just got here, I'm not Eric Rosen, but I am watching Eric Rosen playing chess. So welcome to all the new viewers. He's not getting mated anymore. If you've just joined, you've come at a good time because Eric was getting crushed. But now it's only mate in 21, not mate in 14. He's saved. The best move is to oh no my queen. Let's see if I can find it. Are you telling me this is the best move? Don't worry, you're big fans of me too. Let's go. Hope you had a great stream. I really appreciate it. Where's the stalemate? It's a stalemate in 6 moves or how many moves? I mean, it looks like still incredibly good for white though, right? Like you're so scared here as black. You're just so scared. Now I don't suppose there's any way to like get counterplay. I feel like we need to react directly to this threat. So this is still a huge threat. What do you do? Do you just take this? What do you even do? Java Dev 42. Oh, gifting to Kyle and Jess play chess. Let's go. That's very kind. And another sub. Let's go. Thank you so much. That's very kind. 2 total subs. All right. Is there any... how do you even... These types of positions are so difficult to even begin to approach to defend. So, I mean, like, I think you would take... What's wrong with rook takes rook? I'm trying to figure out... Hey, Shelster dude! With the prime. Thank you, Shelster. Much appreciated. I don't imagine that this would happen. It just doesn't work, right? Like, he has to take back and threaten this. And then... Ooh! And then queen b7? Wait, what is happening? So taking is a mistake? What is white meant to play? If black takes the rook, which I think is going to happen, you just taking queen b7, right? You defend this, offer a nice gentle queen trade. Like, it's not obvious to me why, like, I think the GM probably sees something. h7. So takes here, h7. We go here. Then our rook falls. Ah, that's frustrating. All right, I guess this doesn't help. h7. Yeah, you go here, you get mated. Ah. So, yeah, you're on this. So we can't play knight f6. I suspect we better rule out everything. We would try to go here. Some combination of queen e8 and push must work, though. Because then we got to go back, and then it's... Ah, gosh. It's over. This h-pawn is just too good. You guys all laughed. Remember when you guys laughed and laughed about this h-pawn, huh? How funny. You guys all thought it was so funny. But watch that h-pawn go. It just kept going. And around here, Eric was like probably crushing it. All right. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna use the engine, but not for the last couple moves here. Let's wait till the end. We'll do a little recap at the end. But man, these are the things that happen. So after this, he will have another game tonight, which I will not be covering. I'm probably gonna just do all of the morning rounds. But if you are looking on the broadcast, there will be a round 3 in 2 hours from now. So I'm not leaving. I'm just like letting people know ahead of time that there's much more Eric Rosen to come. Where was he? He was on board 8. I'm not dipping out at this critical moment. I wish I could cover all the games too, but like for me, these games are very late. I think the second round games start at like 9 p.m. and I got kids. I gotta get to sleep. At 9 p.m. I'm asleep. But I'll try to cover. Ooh, oh no, my queen. You guys were right. Hey, it is an oh no, my queen. Hey, and it's Anna Maya as well. Hey, how's it going, Anna Maya? You may be expecting Eric Rosen. Haha, got you. You are nicer with the sub. Gifting to Crichton 1000. Now that Eric suddenly has this horrible position, you came just at the oh no my queen moment. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for Eric if you've just joined. But Eric's playing in Vegas right now. So I'll be commentating a lot of these tournament games. You came just when he did oh no my queen. So he's hoping for takes, rook takes back. And then you still are crying a lot. You're calling an ambulance, but actually for Eric. I don't know. He's got to have his own, before he resigns, he's got to do his oh no my queen moment. How did my risk game go? I'm going to post it tomorrow on the Vampire Chicken channel, but it went very well. It went very well. I'm really happy to share it. For those that don't know, I'm a Grandmaster at risk. Not at chess. Oh, yuck. But at risk. This was the best move. Hey, let's go. So he didn't have a lot of good options. He plays queen b6. Where is the mate, though? Maybe there is no direct mate? It's mate in something. I don't know. But maybe he can flag the guy. It's the top engine move. But still tough. I'm a Grandmaster. But at tic-tac-toe. Let's go. That's not easy. Most people only can make draws. Wait, Eric should love tic-tac-toe. Every game played correctly ends in stalemate. Eric should love tic-tac-toe. He's still trying to flag. He's doing a bad job. Unless he's going to lure the opponent to sleep for a minute. I've never lost at tic-tac-toe. Let's go. So White is maybe, do you think White is upset right now? Because when you have this position, it's like, oh, I have to take the dude's queen, and then I'm like insanely crushing him, but I no longer see a mate. And psychologically, this could be a difficult pill for white to swallow, knowing that they might still need to play like 20 to 30 more moves of chess when they probably had a forced mate not too long ago. And that's where, you know, the psychological effect works for Eric, maybe not. He could be thinking about this as well. I don't know how that would change anything. You're still going to end up taking the queen. Is there anything else I'm missing? You're still going to end up going for this. I mean, so it should still win. But yeah, copium. I couldn't find the list of all of the players. If you do !Vegas, you'll be sent here. This is the website. So it's the 1000 GM tournament. I assume they must have a list here somewhere. I can't find it at the moment. But it would be interesting to know how many people are actually playing. Are there pairings for the next game yet? No. So it is a Swiss. So they won't be able to make the pairings until all of these games are finished. So after this, if somehow Eric doesn't win, also, oh no, my queen. If he somehow loses this game, he'll play somebody else that probably also has 1 point. So somebody that probably got either 2 draws or a win or a loss. Is the bot broken? Oh, it might be. Can I do it? !Vegas for anybody that was looking. There it is. There's a roster, you just gotta scroll for it. So I'll make sure I know where it is for the next stream, which will be tomorrow at the same time that this stream started. So whatever your time is, 3.5 hours from then. We will cover this again tomorrow. Interesting. We don't see this queen take the G pawn, which is check. So I'm actually kind of surprised. The queen takes here and white just makes this pass pawn instead. Eric close to winning. Nice try. Can't fool me. Plot test. Rookie 1 checkmate. You could try, and maybe in the sub, I don't know, 1000 section, maybe this is like half the time a checkmate. But the queen is attacking this rook. I mean, this seems like a reasonable enough move to defend the rooks. I'm trying to figure out, because they're trying, no, it's really bad. Because if here, then you're taking this. So if this rook moves away, then you would need to block with something, and then f4. Ugh. He's got an insane 20-move tactic. Oh yeah, now I see it. What is the best? Like, you can't go here because that drops a bishop. Everything is just, like, so tied down.
Hey, Eric. Looks like you grew your beard out. Looks good.
Oh, thank you, Airberry. Yeah, it's been rough out here in Vegas, dude. Ever since this game started, I grew an entire beard because it's been so long and stressful. I appreciate it, Airberry. Rook here might be okay. This is an interesting one. Because it prevents the pawn, which is the problem in every line. There is here. You'd have to move over. That's no sweat, no sweat. Wait, maybe I'm sweating. Maybe I'm sweating. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. You know what? It's actually an interesting move, though. Until I can find an easy refutation, then it's not that interesting. But I think that's actually a good candidate move. For tomorrow, drink tea and see how many people you can convince are Eric. Oh, I have his merch, too. Oh, I should... What can I do? I wear his merch. I sip tea. I'll have to speak calmly, which is not easy. I'll need a green screen, but then I think basically probably nobody will even notice. I'll do some Eric Rosen cosplay tomorrow, meaning I wear the merch. You think I'd have to shave, or do you think I can just get people like, no, have you not been around for a while? Eric's got a beard now. Rook here. What did I say the problem was? I think the problem is here and then takes. The other thing people are saying, knight f5? I don't know what knight f5 means. Knight somewhere. This is tough. Can you try to speak line Eric? What's the easiest way to do that? Here, yeah. Watch, here's what I'm gonna do.
I finished a...
Wait. So maybe for practice, I could go like this, and then I can turn these on. And 4.5 hours, and yeah, that was a long one. It was a long, super interesting fight. I'm probably gonna try and keep this brief because I haven't had dinner yet, but there's one restaurant that's open for the next several hours. So hopefully they have good food, but anyway, I was playing Eugene Unite, who is a feeding master. He loves to feed. I'm very hungry. I'm Eric Rosen. He's a feeding master. Okay, we gotta move on the board. All right, he decided to go here, threatening. He's saying, "Oh no, call an ambulance." How many feeding masters are in this tournament? He must have been really hungry. He didn't say feeding master. He said feeding master. Is there a delay? Yeah, I think it was supposed to be 15 minutes, but it feels like it's 30 minutes. So quite possibly this game is over. But I haven't seen Eric in the chat, but he's watching from afar and going, God, don't stop. He's like, who I let this guy on my stream? Yeah, joke's on him. All right, rook F to E8. Come on, baby. Come on. It's a long tournament. It's right there. He's here? Eric is here? Where is he at? Wait, I didn't see him. I don't know if I'm ever getting trolled. All right, knight F3, defending against the checkmate, threatening to bring things in. He is here! He thinks. He's here. Well, we don't know how this game is gonna end. If he did pull out the miracle win though, and he somehow, you know, he like held that in. If he won this, like he could not resist telling. But can you imagine? We'll know in 30 minutes what happened. No spoilers, we just know that he's here. It means the game ended. Which is, I guess, predictable based on the time. Yeah, F5 is where we were generally curious. I'm hoping the game takes a different route than what I just experienced. Yeah, stay strong, believers. Maybe Lee Chess is gonna write a different story. You actually, like, I felt like you should have got mated already, but it didn't happen. Somehow you did do an "Oh no, my queen," so that was really cool. There was an "Oh no, my queen" defense, but the most interesting thing is obviously 1 H4. That's a pretty interesting moment. But F5, am I right, Eric, that you didn't see bishop to F4, which none of us saw either? I'm assuming here on F5, the thing that you missed was bishop F4. That's my only question of the game. Because otherwise it could have been brilliant. But F5 is where it got kind of interesting. How's it going, Grandmaster Iron? Good to have you with us. And after that has been falling apart. But you're defending great. Yeah, you underestimated it. All right, that's what we thought. That's tough. We wouldn't have seen it either. I initially wanted to play queen B3 instead. Yeah. We were looking at that, but what did we not? So back here, in this position, queen b3, but then it was maybe f5? Otherwise, queen b3 looks great, because you're threatening checkmate. The knight can't come here because the pawn would be hanging, but maybe he'd play f5. And then I didn't know what you would do, but still maybe it, you know, could have been very possible. Oh no, he's in check. He's not moving. But yeah, it was a very interesting game though. There was a lot of interesting moments. And the opponent's opening was very cool. Oh no, who are you? Poor Eric. I'm in Vegas with Eric right now. He got locked out of the hotel room. He started streaming. I kicked him out and I just took over. Or Eric is playing in a tournament and he asked me to do commentary and that's how I ended up in this position. Got defeated by the super crab. Yeah. Opponent was too strong. Not only did he crab, he then super crabbed. A full plan to steal my identity? Shh, no, don't. He doesn't need to know. But yeah, hopefully we'll still get to see a really interesting recap. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing like the recap of the game. Just to see all of the moments that like we probably missed while everything was happening. Because I assume there's just a whole lot of things that we all missed as kind of a chat. The time is frozen. I'm not seeing an indication of who won. He's a frozen Rosen. He resigned. Maybe, but maybe not. Believers, there's still hope. Anything's still possible until it's official. Nobody knows. But it will be really fun just kind of seeing it from Eric's point of view. So hopefully everybody watches whatever YouTube videos are going to be coming out from this. We will actually, let's just go back over this one more time and look at this for the first time with an engine. I'm 3 moves behind. Any results? All right, he got checked. He blocked with the rook. The knight is coming in. He's trying to block, but then f4. All right, I'm going to use an engine now. So let's do a quick recap of this entire game. So if you haven't seen it, and I guess Eric will do a much better recap, but h4 was played on move 2. And then we saw knight to c6, bishop to b5, queen to b6, which is like almost a novelty. Also in the Masters database, move 2 is a novelty. But in the Lee Chess database, I think Eric played the first new move. Because here, we thought it was interesting. We expected this to potentially happen, and there's probably a million ways this could branch out. But we saw a4, and instead of playing a6, the only move that's ever been played, we saw knight to f6 attacking this pawn. A6, queen takes, c4 actually is the top engine move. This was the first move that, you know, outside of these two, that I guess really surprised me, but it does make a lot of sense. e6 is good. Queen f3 was another interesting move, moving the queen out. Watch the new moves, please. d4 was a surprise. This guy comes here. So we know it's about to wrap up. Now this knight is pinned. It's not looking great. 4 adds. Tough. Let's see the game now and recap later. I guess I assumed the game was over, but it's still going. He attacks the queen. Ooh, that's a really good move. Dang, that's a really good move. But how does he finish this? He makes a queen. But then if rook takes, I guess this queen is going to take here. Ooh. Very tough. Dang. This is a really strong way to finish it. And these moves all came quick. So we know at this point, both of these players had kind of seen all the way to here. So we see Eric down to 3.5 minutes. But you only have one move other than resigning, which is to take. But then this queen takes here. You take, and here, that should be enough. Maybe there's a more clinical way. Do you think he played another move? What do you think? Does Eric take the queen? He might as well take the queen. He's down 2 queens. Would you guys take the queen or resign? How would you feel better? Correct answer? The game ended. Oh no, it's mate. Oh no. All right, you would resign. Anyways, it's a really good game. Maybe I actually will let Eric recap it if you did miss it. We'll let Eric tell it from his point of view. But just to quickly go back over the game one more time, because it was really interesting. The opening was really cool. And that one interesting position. The first thing that like also kind of surprised me that Eric did, because it felt like up until now, everything Eric did was like super normal. The H pawn was unstoppable. Yeah, they all laughed on, everybody thought it was so funny. The joke was on all of us at the very end. The first, like so far though, it felt like Eric was just playing like a normal model game. He was like teaching people how to play. He developed all of his like pieces and played in the center. The first thing that surprised me was D4. And I guess this is the top engine move. So I guess Eric played the best move. I was saying that like, okay, you got 2 bishops, so probably you want to open up the position. But that's actually very wrong. So it's good to know Eric played this position a lot better. Because I was thinking of maybe just taking here, because someday I got bishops. That was the end of that analysis. But Eric played better. And this was good. Look how many good moves he played. And then this one was like kind of interesting. Instead of playing h6, which maybe Eric didn't play, because if you ever play h6, you might never be able to castle due to some tactics with the knight. But he instead decides to move this knight. And then this move, which appears to be wrong as well. This move. But then, does Eric know en passant? Yeah, probably. Eric knew about en passant. And then here, White played a really weird move. Because Eric just can play queen to b4. And all of a sudden, this was looking really good. Because either you go here and blunder the b pawn, or you move your king here. And now Eric is doing really well. But then f5 was played. So I actually don't know what is best. It looks like castling is best. I wasn't sure what black should play here. Queen b3. Okay, so this actually is good. Queen b3, but then f4? Like obviously you can go here, but then I didn't know what was happening here. But this is just really, really good for white. Which I guess isn't so obvious to see. Because like the knight's gonna go here and you're gonna be attacking the rook, but something like here, let's say that I just attack your queen. Ah, whenever the knight moves out, there's here, that's right. So maybe this is tough. The knight can't actually ever move out and the bishop can't move because there's a pin. And maybe this guy sneaks in here. Wow, what could have been? But yeah, instead we saw here, which had probably a really cool idea. Because if the queen takes, it is knight e5. And it's really kind of hard to keep this queen alive. And you're going to get castled, and there's pressure on this file. Dang. Queen b3 was your first thought. You wasn't sure what was happening after f4. Yeah, so I guess we were in the same boat here. Because I just saw this, and like, yeah, you can check. But then I didn't know. But now looking at it, it's like, oh yeah, well, if this guy can't move and this guy can't move, it's so much easier when I'm so much more confident when I'm checking out the eval bar. Now I'm really confident that this is great for you. But yeah, we also weren't really sure during the game. f5 was almost really interesting, though. But the opponent played bishop f4, which is so strong. Because now this rook is, like, immediately coming in. So if you get, like, greedy with this rook is going to be coming in. And this is going to be a complete disaster. So Eric had to just castle. And let's see how well the opponent played here. And then even this, setting up with queen g3 and these tactics. This was all amazing. And then queen b8, only move, spotted by chat with an engine. But it's definitely not the most intuitive move. The problem is here, right? No, also here. Both of these moves are very strong. It's almost funnier not to fork, just to demonstrate that you can. You can fork or not fork. But, so we saw that, and this was the only move that I saw, but then, you know, chat with an engine saw the right move, which is really hard to find. Dang. And then even this was very impressive. Did you see knight takes g6 coming? I assumed it was going to go like f3, and then if you moved, he would take this. And this would be some issue, so I didn't know what was going to happen on f3. But turns out just rook a7, and maybe you're doing okay. Even if you take this, I mean, somehow this is fine. Knight f3, of course. Yeah, all of this, of course. So Eric also didn't see the immediate knight takes g6. So if you don't see this, everything else is not as scary at all. But this move is so strong. Holy cow. Give him a call. Do you guys need to hear from Eric? Eric, do you want to give us a quick synopsis, or do the people need to wait for the YouTube video? Oh no, my queen. Best move. All right, the people demand an Eric Rosen phone call. All right, I'll call him. But if he doesn't answer, we'll assume he's busy. He just played a giant tournament. All right, we'll do it quickly. Thank you, Fang Duster. 1 win, 1 tough game. Good work, Eric. All right, Eric, I'm giving you a phone call. Here, but just, we won't spoil it. We'll go back to here for the people.
Oh.
Yo, Eric.
How's it going?
Well, you know, most of us had a good time. How's your day going?
It was kind of rough, but at least it was a really cool game. Like H4 is gonna make a great YouTube thumbnail and
yeah.
Like I don't think this move has ever been played like
0 games in the Masters database, which is weird. Like, because everything's been played. We'll need to use a bigger database. That's actually crazy if no one's ever played H4.
Well, he spent about 5 minutes on move 2 before he played H4, so I thought something was up because obviously, like, he probably would have prepared something to play.
Yeah.
Instead,
was he there? Was he at the board when the thing started? He also took like 4 minutes on move 1.
So he arrived 2 minutes late, and
okay.
he took about 3 minutes to make his first move.
Okay, so that's not too weird.
So,
but then he thought forever and played H4, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if you, like, the first, whatever, 5 to 10 moves, like, he already burned a ton of time.
Gotcha.
And, the opening, I just treated as a reverse English. So I was playing my English repertoire.
Oh, gotcha. That's why Queen B6.
Queen B3.
Yeah, okay. Huh. Because the opening looked like it went really well. Or at least looked like one player was just playing like normal, proper moves that everybody should try to emulate. And the other guy was playing on the side and moving the queen a lot.
Well, I recently did this beginner bot speed run, like playing all the beginner bots on chess.com.
Yeah.
So I feel like that prepared me for this game because I like unexpected H4 and A4. But unfortunately, it didn't quite work out.
Yeah, this opponent was slightly stronger than the beginner bots, huh? Dang.
Right.
Well, I don't want to.
Like once I played D4, it was looking really nice for black.
Can you explain D4 rather than, let's say, taking on C4? Because in my mind, I was like, oh, you got 2 bishops. You probably don't want to keep it closed. Closed positions are good for knights.
Exactly. Like it is counterintuitive. The idea is just long term. Black is getting just a permanent space advantage, and then eventually there's going to be breaks with B5 or F5 to activate the light squared bishop. Unfortunately, I didn't play F5 at the right moment, though. But it's such a strong idea. I just have to castle first and then gradually prepare F5.
Yeah.
I played it over too quickly.
Dang. What did you think was going to happen? So you knew he would take, and you would take back, and you...
Like, I was aware of bishop F4, but I guess I just underestimated the strength of it, because I assumed B2 is hanging, and I take B2 and the rook, but then rook E1 comes very quickly, and my king is actually, like, very unsafe. So I didn't really have enough danger levels when I played F5.
So people need to watch more Gotham chess or something. Is that the secret?
It's possible, yeah. Just have some better sense of like completing development before opening position. Because White's king ended up being very safe on F1.
Yeah, it was really surprising. And I guess maybe it shouldn't have been if you had snuck in with Queen B3 at the right time. Actually, the king could have gotten in a little trouble.
My intuition, because Queen B3, what ends up happening is White would have to play F4 to prevent checkmate. And then F4, even though it looks like it gains space for White, it restricts the knight on E2 and the bishop on F4, or a bishop on C1. So the pawn is actually somewhat of like getting in the way of White's development.
Yeah, because we were actually talking about how White has 2 pieces trying to go to F4. And the problem was that they couldn't do it. But then they got an opportunity with bishop F4, and they solved that big issue. That both of those pieces that were stuck got to there.
Queen B3, F4, then the plan would be to eventually play F5 and bishop B7 and enjoy life.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. It was really fun. I know there's going to be more great games, and you got another game tonight that people are perfectly welcome to watch. You got a couple hours, I think. Are you?
Just for 2 hours to eat and hopefully rest and maybe do a recap and then prepare. So.
All right. So I know you got a lot to do. Thanks so much, Eric. I hope you have a great night. Good luck in round 3, and maybe we'll
Thanks so much,
we'll talk to you later. See ya.
Thanks for the chat as well for watching. I
Cool.
appreciate it. All right, see you.
See ya. That was Eric Rosen, and that is, I guess, the end of this stream. I will be back tomorrow, whatever time it is from you. So for you right now, subtract about 4 hours, and that's going to be the start time of the stream tomorrow. I'll be back, and hopefully we get to hang out with a lot of the same people. So please come back.